Good evening, all. I think 2 more days for the Nift exam, and we will be having a marathon for the last few topics. We will be discussing in arithmetics as well as other topics. Also, we will be discussing after me. Suraj sir and other faculties are they are waiting to join. Okay, so for the next 2 hours, we will be having a look into the remaining topics which we haven't covered in the last 2 sessions. Sorry, last 3 sessions. You can find the playlist here. Nift Marathon 1, Nift Marathon Part 2, Part 3, and this is the fourth part. Okay. And with this fourth part, we are trying to cover the maximum topics for this particular exam, especially based on the topics for the sample question papers available in the Nift website. Okay. I think you guys gone through all the sample question papers available in the Nift Nift website, and we just curated these sessions based on those sample question papers and topics. Okay, so the connected questions and all those. And I had discussed directly some sample questions of from the Nift website on the second marathon. Okay, so better to watch all the 4 episodes before the exam. In a quicker manner, you can go through the first, second, and third. So then only you will be getting the essence of this particular sessions. Okay, so without much delay, I'm going to start the session. So in the last class, we were discussing about ratio and proportion and age-related problem at the end. I think there are 4 to 5 topics which I'm discussing in the part 3. So in the part 3 of the marathon, I think I was discussing topics like speed, distance, time. There was surely one question. So not one. You can expect 3 questions from speed, distance, time. One question will be mainly based on average speed. Next question is based on a speed of train, and the third will be based on bot and streams. Okay, in that way you can expect 3 questions from the main chapter, speed, distance, time, and that chapter is having average speed and bot, train related questions as the subsections. Similarly, there is another chapter called work time, and work time is somewhat connected to the chapter pipes and system, and you can expect 2 questions from those chapters, like work and time 1 question and work and time 1 question and pipes and system 1 question. Okay, so in that way you can expect one questions from many topics over here, and the chapter simplification is coming up with the 3 to 4 questions. And in the marathon part 2, I'm thoroughly explaining that particular simplification also. Okay, so go through all the 4 sessions. Okay, all the 4 sessions before the exam. And for the first, second, and third sessions, you can have a 2x, 3x speed to see those questions in a very quicker manner. Let me look into your chats and present. Okay, very good. Okay, fine. So now, let me start my session by sharing the screen. So over here, 1 second. Fine. Hope my screen is visible. Okay, my screen is visible. We will be starting from the chapter mixtures and allegations. I will tell you how to solve questions from this chapter. Just look into this question and read these questions first. So there is a diagrammatic method. That diagrammatic method is common. Okay, common for every question. Okay, that diagrammatic method is common for every question. So I will tell you how that technique is working. You guys can put your answers in the chat. Okay, so in this question, I will address some quantities. The price of a variety of a commodity is rupees 5 per kilogram, and that of another is 8 per kilogram. So this is cheaper quantity. Okay, so this is cheaper and this is dearer. Okay, so this is cheaper one and the second one is costly one, and we are going to make a mean price. Okay, we are going to make a mean price of 7. So for that purpose, how much cheaper and how much dearer we need to discuss. My screen. Okay, so in mixtures and allegation, sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so in mixtures and allocation, hope you guys can see my screen right now. Okay, so quantity of cheaper quantity and quantity of dearer quantity are asking in these kinds of questions. So there we have a diagram like this. This particular X is solving this chapter. Okay, this particular X is solving this chapter. How that X works. So for solving these kinds of questions, you guys need to be aware about this diagram. So this is C, this is D. Just put an X-like structure like this. So at the center, the mean price comes. Okay, at the center, the mean prices come. So dearer is the largest number. So you can take the difference like D minus M. Mean will be the larger because cheaper will be less than mean. So mean minus cheaper. So under cheaper, okay, this is the line of cheaper. Under cheaper, quantity of cheaper will be coming. Okay, and this is quantity of dearer. So this is a ratio actually. Okay, D minus M equal to M minus C is a ratio. Okay, that is equal to quantity of cheaper is to quantity of dearer. If you make it into fractions, it will be like quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer. Okay, it will be like quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer. That is equal to D minus M by M minus C. Okay, quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer. That is equal to D minus M by M minus C. So you can take a screenshot. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this particular area. So whenever a question from mixtures and allocation comes, mixtures means just mix something of cheaper and dearer quantities. Okay, some of lower quantity, some of lower quality and some of higher quality, like water and milk mixing. Everything is coming under this chapter. So let me solve this question. What will be the ratio? So cheaper quantity, dearer quantity. Here the cheaper quantity is ₹5. Here the dearer quantity, that is 8. What is the mean is expected to be 7. Then at what ratio we have to mix? 8 minus 7. This is a mean. So 8 minus 7, that is 1. And here this is 7 minus 5. Okay, that is 2. So this is cheaper quantity and this is dearer quantity. So quantity of cheaper is to quantity of dearer, that is 1:2. Okay, so quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer, in fractions you can write like 1/2 or 1:2. Which option? Which option? Option A. Okay, so every time there will be one question from this chapter also. Only one question you can expect. Okay, next question. A variety of rice at ₹14 per kilogram is mixed to 15 kilogram of another variety of rice. So actually in these sessions, from the last 3 sessions and including this one, the 4 sessions are having questions which is closely resembling the type of questions which is asked in Nift exams. Okay, so for that you guys need to practice 1 or 2 times these questions by tomorrow. Okay, because you have one more day, and that day I'm not everyone to expect to do new questions. Okay, because that will be a hectic task. So minimum of the minimum, you can do new questions tomorrow, but minimum of the minimum, you guys need to solve 1 or 2 times the questions which I had discussed from the last 4 sessions, including this one. Okay, so from the 4 sessions you will be getting a plenty of questions, like nearly you will be getting 14, 15 into 5, nearly 120, nearly 120 to 150 questions you are getting from these 4 sessions. Okay, 100 plus questions you guys are getting, and you guys can practice solve those questions by tomorrow. Okay, you can even start it by today, and you can finish it by tomorrow. I want all of you to solve those questions from previous sessions. Okay, with that you can have a basic understanding of these chapters and you can solve questions from these. Okay, so now you guys come solve over here. We don't have any other changes. Cheaper, dearer, mean, D minus M, and M minus C. So this is quantity of cheaper, this is quantity of dearer. Okay, So there are ratios we are going to find. So cheaper here, what is the cheaper price? Rupees 14 per kilogram for the cheaper. Okay. And 15 kilogram of another variety of rupees 20. Price of dearer. Okay. Cheaper is rupees 14 and dearer is rupees 20. And you are going to make 16.50. This is the mean which you want. Okay. This is the mean price which you are going to make. So D minus M, that is equal to 3.5. And M minus C, that is equal to 2.5, isn't it? 16.50 minus 14. 20 minus 16.50. So quantity of cheaper, if I am writing like quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer, it will be like 3.5 by 2.5. You guys can remove those decimal places like multiplying with the 10 on top and bottom. It is equal to 35 by 25. Do you have the quantity of cheaper? Okay. We don't have the quantity of cheaper. Quantity of cheaper is unknown, but we have the quantity of dearer. So it will be like quantity of cheaper by 15 kilogram. Question is asking about quantity of price at 14. That is quantity of cheaper is asked in this question. So quantity of cheaper will be 35 into 15 divided by 25. Simple, silly question. Okay, simple, silly question. So 35 by 25 into 15. So into 15, you can cancel here. Like, sorry, actually I had cut it everything. This is 7, this is 5. Okay. Again, you can cancel with the 5. This will be 3. So 7 into 3, 21. Which option? Option D. Ah, Grace, very good. Okay, Gracie, very good, very good. 21 kilogram. And Udantika Datta asked from where I can get this question. Okay, you will be getting it from our community, or you can contact in the number provided over here in the chat. You will be getting these questions, or you can go through the videos. Okay, I make you just go through the videos, and from there you can take the. I think there is no need to write down the question. Just take the video, pause the screen, write the answer, go to the next question. Okay, pause, write the answer, check the what I am giving an explanation. So you'll be getting an active participation there. Okay, you have already gone through the videos. Okay. So you can avail the questions if you know the answers. You can avail the questions from our community group. I think I had shared the questions by today. I think they will be posting it up very soon. Okay, very soon means by today itself they will be posting it. Minimum of the minimum, they will be getting you the questions. For the detailed solutions, you guys could go through the videos. Okay, so you can take the help of admins over here. They will be giving you the details. You can contact them through the WhatsApp. They will be guiding you where you will be getting these PDFs. I think they told me that they will be putting it in the community. I think it's a WhatsApp community. Okay, so details of that will be giving in the chats. Okay, admins, please make sure of those things. So let's move on to the next question. So this question, I had already taken profit and loss in the first session. And this question is an application of profit and loss. Okay, this particular question is an application of profit and loss. So how many kilogram of rice costing rupees 18.30 per kilogram must be mixed with a 126 kilogram of rice costing 8.55 per kilogram, so that 20% may be gained by selling the mixture at 14.40 per kilogram. I think before starting of my session, there was another live done by our academic head. Okay, academic head regarding what things we need to carry to the Nift exam hall, and what are the things in the last day hurry may leads to missing of few things. Those things were covered in a video done by our academic head as well as Annie in I think in the last 1 hour. one more live has been uploaded. So you can see them in the live session. Okay, there is a live sessions in THiNC Institute of Design. So there you can find that video just below the video which we are discussing now. Okay, that video also to be seen by tomorrow night, to be aware by tomorrow night or by today night. Okay, as per your convenience. But those things also you need to be watched, because to avoid the hurryberries. Okay, so you need to have that like hall tickets, everything in your hand. Actually, in between the questions, I'm making these kinds of comments because I need to give you time for solving these questions as well, and I need to inform you these things. Okay, so even though where I am informing these things, you guys can continue doing the questions in the meantime. So in this question, something is missing. What is missing? The mean price is missing. So how many kilogram of rice costing 18.30 kilogram per kilogram be mixed with 126 kilogram of rice costing 8.55? This is the cheaper one. Okay, so cheaper one mixed with 126 kilogram of cheaper one. This is quantity of cheaper. So we want the quantity of dearer. Okay, so cheaper, dearer, mean, and this is D minus M, that is quantity of cheaper, and this is M minus C, this is a quantity of dearer. Okay, so we need to substitute here. We know that quantity of cheaper is 126 kilogram. The question is asking about quantity of dearer. Mean is unknown, but we need to get a profit of 20%. He is selling the mixture at 14.40. So the mean should be the cost price, because we are mixing these things at the cost price. So we need to get a mean cost price. That is the first question. Okay, so for that, the profit and loss being included here. And a similar question I saw in Nift, I think B.Des sample question paper, or a BFT. The name of the question paper is not a matter in Nift website. Okay, whatever the name they are given, the question for the arithmetics are of the same pattern, same level. I request you, B.Des or MFT or BFT or anything, go through all the questions. Okay, all are arithmetic questions. Okay, like something, all are mathematics, like all are arithmetic questions here. Go through that. So 14.40 is the selling price. This is the selling price. 14.40 is the selling price. So selling price is cost price plus profit. Okay, so it's being given that selling price is 14.40. Cost price is unknown, so it is 100% of cost price. Profit is 20%. So 20% of what? 20% of cost price. So I had already taught about the addition of percentages in the first session. There I had taken a detailed session of the percentages. So this is 120% of cost price. Okay, 120% of cost price, that is 14.40. So the question is, what is the cost price is? What is the cost price is? So 14.40, that is equal to 120 by 100 percentage. If you divide it with 100, then you will be getting the fraction of that, then into cost price. Now the numbers, you can find a relation. In many cases, the numbers will be having a relation. So 120. So 14.40, like you can cancel these zeros here, and for this will be like 144 by 12. Okay, so that is 12. Okay, 144 into 12, that is simply 12. So now you guys got the value of the mean. This is 12. Okay, now this is 8.55. Okay, this is 8.55, and this is 18.30. Okay, 18.30. Now coming over to here, D minus M. D minus M means 18.30 by 12. Sorry, minus 12. That is 18.30 minus 12. That is equal to, so fraction, sorry, the ratio is being get for this is like 6.30. Next is M minus C, 12 minus 8.55, 0. Sorry. So for 5 point, it is like 3.45. Okay, so 3.45. So the quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer is equal to 6.30 by 3.45. Okay, so you can write it like 630 divided by 345. Okay, 630 divided by 345. Let me reduce the size of this calculation for availing little bit more space. So we have the quantity of cheaper, that is 126, but we are unaware about the quantity of dearer. So that is equal to 630 by 345. Okay, so over here we can divide it with the 5. So because even this is a multiple of 5, you can divide it with the 5. So 630, that is 1, 13, that is 2, and this is like 126. And over here, when we divide it with the 345, the 5, so this is like 7, 9. Okay, so over here 126 by 79. 126 by 7, sorry, it is 69, because 6 into 5 is 30, remaining is 4, so that is 45. So 69. Now you can cross over here after cancelling this. So 69 will be equal to quantity of dearer. Option B is the right answer, and Gracie as well as K-pop has been given it right. Very good. So next you guys can see another type. Actually, I'm including different types of questions from these topics, which is closely relevant in the exam. Solve this question. Everyone should go through at least B.Des sample question paper. Okay, at least B.Des sample question paper you guys need to go through. For the annotated copies as well as these questions, you can join our community. Okay, and for answers, detailed answers, you can refer to the last 3 videos over here. So milk and water are filled in P and Q in the ratio 4:1 and 5:2. First of all, we need to discuss in what way we are going to solve this, like milk way or the water way. Okay, from which side you are going to solve this question. So P and Q. In the P, 4/5 is milk. Okay, I'm trying to solve it in the way of milk. And this is 5/7 is milk. Okay, 4:1, milk is water, is 4:1 means 4/5. I told you every time, whenever you find ratios, add it and find the denominator. Whenever you find the ratios, add it and find the denominator. So over here, so the total 5 parts, 4 part will be milk. Okay, so we are going to solve this question in terms of milk. So this is cheaper, this is dearer, and this is mean, and this is like in this way. But we don't need to bother about who is cheaper or dearer. Just write and take the difference, higher quantity minus smaller quantity. Okay, higher quantity minus smaller quantity. So here, this is the case of P, this is the case of Q. So from the P, we are taking it here, from the Q, we are taking it here, and we are just making a mean. That means it should be 7/9 should be milk. Okay, this is our requirement. So that is our mean. So from the P side, we will be taking 4/5. And from Q pot, we are taking 5 by 7. We are going to mix this to get what? We are going to this mixing this to get 7 by 9 milk. Okay, we are going to mix it to get 7 by 9 milk. Now the remaining portion. So this is quantity of P to be mixed. This is quantity of Q to be mixed. How will you take? Okay, I will give you another important thing to find the larger value and smaller value. What will we use to find larger value and smaller value? So here 7 by 9 and 5 by 7, which is the larger value? Just cross multiply. 7 into 7, 49. 9 into 5, 45. So the larger value is 7 by 9. Okay, larger value is 7 by 9. So in this step, we are taking the difference from the larger value, the smaller value. 7 by 9 minus 5 by 7. What will be the value here? 7 by 9 minus 5 by 7. Just cross multiply. Just cross multiply and write the results over the fractions. Which fraction is having higher number at the top? That is the larger value. Okay, this is a shortcut to find larger and smaller fractions. The questions were there in the Nift sample question paper, and I had discussed it while discussing ratios. I think so. Okay. Anyway, keep that method with you. So 49 minus 45 by 9 into 7. That is simply like 4 by 63. Okay, it is like 4 by 63. Keep it there. We will come back to that later. So 4 by 63. Next is we need to find 7 by 9 or 4 by 5, which is the largest one. So over here, 7 into 9. 7 into 9, it is like 56. Okay, 7 into 9, sorry, it is like 63. Sorry. It is 7 by 9 and 4 by 5. 7 by 9, 4 by 5. 7 into 5, 36. 9 into 4, 7 into 5, 35. 9 into 4, 36. So the larger value, 4 by 5. Okay, 9 into 4 is 36. 7 into 5, 35. Larger value is 36. So 36 minus 35. Okay, 36 minus 35 divided by 9 into 5. Okay, divided by 9 into 5. So when you come over here, you can take the difference like 4 by 5 minus 7 by 9. Over here, it is like 1 by 9 into 5. You can take it like 45 or 63 instead of 63 for ease of cancelling. Let me make it like 9 into 7 as over here. And this will be 9 into 5. This is better. So quantity QP is to quantity from port P is to quantity from port Q will be equal to 4 by 9 into 7 is to 1 by 9 into 5. You can find that 9 as a common. Okay, so you can cancel, because when you take the 9 to the left, like 4 into 9 and 1 into 9, you can cancel it. And over here, now the fraction will be like this. QP is to QQ will be like this. So this is 4 by 7. This is 1 by 5. So these fractions are difficult to handle. So just cross multiply and take the answer. So it will be like 20 is to 7. Okay, 20 is to 7 as option A. So the quantity of port P and quantity of Q are to be mixed like 20 is to 7 to get 7th of what, like 7 by 9 of milk. Okay, if you want the milk like 7 is to 2, it should be milk what, like 20 times the milk from P and 7 times the milk from Q to be mixed, or 20 pots of P and 7 pots of Q, or 20 cups of P and 7 cups of Q to be mixed to get a 7 is to 2 ratio. And let's move on to next topic. Priya is having some doubts. Actually, you have some doubts in previous year questions where you can ask. Actually, we have a community, and you can find a number, phone number, that's WhatsApp number of THiNC Institute of Design. There you can ask your doubts. Okay. Actually, we will be helping you to solve those questions. I'm not expecting all the questions or all the question papers. Okay. So if you have doubts on few questions, then you can feel free to contact our team over there. They will be taking those questions to me. Okay. I will get you the answers. Don't worry. Okay, Priya. I think Priya is hearing me. So over here, we are going to the next topic, that is like mensuration. That means area related questions and volume related question. First of all, we are seeing area related question. I will be making a quick go through to the important equations. So those who are viewing this video, if you haven't subscribed our channel, you guys can subscribe it. And over here, if you like the videos, you can click on that like button, and you can even click on that bell button over here for similar videos. Okay, so now let's move on to basics of mensuration, that is area. I'm talking to area and perimeter now. Okay, area and perimeter. So few things like a triangle having a number of equation. So an equilateral triangle. Okay, equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal. Okay, so area of an equilateral triangle is equal to √3/4 a square. Keep it in mind. Okay, I think perimeter, you guys know that, like sum of all the sides, that's enough. So I'm not giving much focus on perimeter things. Okay, I'm not going to give you much idea on perimeter, since you guys know the perimeter of a triangle, that is a plus b plus c. So if the sides are different length, like over here, this is a triangle with a ABC. Okay, here the perimeter will be like a plus b plus c. This is a right angle triangle. So area of a right angle triangle, you can use the equation half BH. That means B is the base and H is the height or the altitude. Okay, this is the height itself over here. Okay, so half BH, that is half into base into height. And even triangles like this. Even triangles like this. So this is A, this is B. I will be taking B over here. This is B and this is C. So over here, this is the altitude. Okay, so this is the altitude. So altitudes are the perpendiculars drawn from one side to opposite vertex. Okay, altitudes are the perpendiculars. So area can be, you can use the equation half into base into corresponding altitude. I'm giving different equations because the question can be asked in any way. Okay, corresponding altitudes. So that is area of a triangle. Similarly, there is a thing called Heron's theorem. Heron's theorem. That is also about finding area of a triangle. So for that, we need to learn a new quantity, that is semi-perimeter. Okay, S for semi-perimeter. Semi-perimeter. So semi-perimeter means half of perimeter. Okay, and area of triangle will be equal to root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. Okay, so that is the area of the triangle. You can use that equation also. Okay, so this is one set of equation for a triangle. Few more shapes are important. Let's discuss them also. Let me reduce the size. Hope you guys are seeing all these things. I'm just reducing the size and fixing it over here. So next set of important things. So triangle equations. Okay. So triangle equations over here. I'm just reducing the size to accommodate everything over here. So triangle is over. Next, we can look for a square. Square. Okay. Square. A few things we need to know about square, like all sides will be equal. Okay. All sides will be equal. So area will be equal to, so the area will be equal to a square. Perimeter will be equal to 4a. One more equation for a area is there. For that, you need to aware about what a diagonal is. So diagonal, this is the diagonal. So according to Pythagoras theorem, root of a square plus a square, that is a root 2. Diagonal will be equal to a root 2. Okay. So diagonal will be equal to a root 2. So it can be connected to area. How it is? Like diagonal by root 2, that will be equal to a. So for if you square on both sides, then you will be getting a square will be equal to d square by 2. That is area. Keep this equation also in mind, because questions solvable through this equation were asked. So that is about squares. I'm not getting into every aspect of this particular chapter. Now we will be looking into the next, that is rectangle. Okay. Next, that is a rectangle. So rectangle, length and breadth. So area equal to length into breadth, and perimeter is equal to 2 into length plus breadth. Okay. So that is area and perimeter. Okay. Area and the perimeter. Next is circle. Okay. Next is circle. So circle will be having radius, that is half of the diameter. So area of a circle, that is equal to pi r square. And perimeter, we are using the equation 2 pi r. Okay. So there will be questions for converting a square into a circle. Okay. What will be the area of the square may be given, and you need to find the area and perimeter, or perimeter of the square will be given, and you need to find the area of the circle. So those kinds of questions, you need to be aware about these equations. So this is about circle. One more connected things to the circle, that is ring. Okay. That is ring. I will take circle from here. So this will be the ring. Okay. So over here, this is the center. So this is the radius of the smaller one, and this is the radius of the larger circle. So area of ring, that is equal to the difference of the area of the circles, that is pi r square minus pi r square. You can take pi as the common, and you can solve for r square minus r square, and you can remember this a square minus b square. This identity a plus b into a minus b will be helping you to solve this question in a very quicker manner. Okay. So I'm giving you a connection between identities and this particular chapter. So I will show you the question, how it is coming. So now we can try some questions, and in between, if required, we will be discussing some other equations also. A rectangular parking space is marked out by painting 3 of its sides. Okay. So this is a rectangular parking space. Okay. So 3 of its sides, like this is the 3 of its sides. Okay. So one side is unpainted. If the length of the unpainted side is 9 feet. Okay. And length of the painted sides, that means you can consider this is length and this is breadth, and this is length and this is another breadth. Okay. So this is 12 plus b, that is the unpainted one. Okay. So marked out by painting 3 of its sides. So this will be equal to 37 feet, and b is equal to 9 feet. This is a question. So your target is finding the area. So just find length into breadth. Okay, B is here, 12 plus B is here. Okay, length into breadth. Very silly question. Okay, go ahead, everyone. What is the value of 12? 12. Over here, 2L will be equal to 37 minus 9. That is 28. So L will be equal to 28 by 2. Ah, Gracie, very good. So that is 14. Okay, so area will be equal to 14 into 9. Okay, because it is area of a rectangle equal to length into breadth. So 14 into 9. So 14 into 9, that is 126. Okay, 14 into 9 is 126. Now let's move on to the next question. So a square carpet with an area of 169 square meters. Easy question, you guys can solve. Let me see your answers in the chat. Okay, let me see your answers in the chat. You guys can join our community to get these questions as well as annotated copy. By the today itself, we will be uploading annotated copy of the session which we are having currently. Okay, and I request you to go through all the other 3 videos which has been uploaded in the playlist of Nift Marathon for getting a better idea. For the arithmetic questions. Okay, this is a continuation of a series of videos from the, I think, from the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we've just started doing this. So 2 weeks ago, we just started. So this is the final session, maybe. Okay, and by tomorrow, we may be doing some other videos, if possible. Okay, everything depends upon the likes, shares, and support. If we find record, we will be doing it. So over here, a square carpet. Just put your answers in the chat. Whatever you think, right, just put it here. A square carpet. Okay, we have a square carpet. So a square carpet with 169 square meters. 169 square meters. Root of 169 is asked in this question. Root of 169. That means 13. So one side is 13. So being a square, every side is 13. And 2 meter is cut off. 2 meter is cut off. So now this height is 11 meter only. So the area of this portion, that is 11 into 13. Okay, so that is 143 square meters. Option D. Very good, JD and Rim, good. Okay, but okay, Rim fine, good. 143. Next question. Next question is an application level question. Okay, this is the maximum toughness you can expect. This is the maximum toughness you can expect for Nift level questions. Okay, so the ratio between the length and breadth of a rectangular park is 3:2. So length is to breadth, you can take it like 3x:2x. Okay, that is how we are taking ratios. So if a man cycling along the boundary of the park at the speed of, this is connected to speed, distance, time chapter. Okay, speed, distance, time chapter, it is connected. So over here, so cycling along the boundary of the park at the speed of 12 km/h completes 1 round in 8 minutes. Completes 1 round in 8 minutes. Then the area of the park in square meters. Completes 1 round in 8 minutes. So over here, he is completing 1 round in 8 minutes, means the distance traveled in 8 minutes is the perimeter. So first of all, we are going to find the perimeter. So 2 ways you can find the perimeter using this. 2 into length plus breadth. That is 2 into 3x plus 2x. That is equal to 2 into 5x. That is equal to 10x. That is equal to our perimeter which we are looking for. Okay, so if you get the value of x, then this question stands solved. Okay, just applying the value of x and we can easily solve this. Keep it there. Next, from the question 12 kilometer per hour. From the question, we can find 12 kilometer per hour. So 12,000, okay, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. 12,000 meters in 60 minutes. How many minutes he is traveling? Okay, so you can just divide with the 60 here. 12,000 by 60. So you can easily cancel. This is 200. Okay, so 200 meters in 1 minute. It implies 1600 meters in 8 minutes. So perimeter equal to 1600 meter. You can simply solve without much difficulties. You can simply solve here. So when you apply it over here, 10x will be equal to 1600. So x will be equal to 160. So we know that length equal to 3 into 160. Breadth will be equal to 2 into 160. Okay. So over here, 480 is to 320. Okay, that is a length and breadth. The question is asking about area. So length into breadth, that is 480 into 320. So usually I want to go for calculations in this because I have options. So I will make use of the options. So since 2 zeros are at the end, the answer will be ending with the 2 zeros. Okay, answer will be ending with the 2 zeros. So I don't want these two options. Okay, because I'm not having that much time to waste. So I will be in a quicker. So I will be canceling those two options. And this is 8 and this is 2. And I know that every time 8 into 2 is last digit will be 6. So 6 will be coming. I don't know the digit which is coming next, but I know that 600 will be the last 3 digits of the answer. So with these assumptions, I could easily solve it like Gracie commented here. That is, answer is 153600. But I don't have much time to waste. So whenever I find 480 into 320, I will look into what my options are available. So answer need 2 options. I will remove 2, and I need to have a 6. Okay, before that 2 zeros, I need to have a 6. I will delete other options also. Okay, fine. So let's move on to the next question. Next is about a ring. Okay, next question is connected to ring. Solve this. Solve this. A circular gross lawn of 35 meter in radius. 35 meter in radius. It is a simple question. Has a 7 meter wide path. Has a 7 meter wide path. Solve, everyone. So over here, this is the center. So this is 35 meter. And width of this is like 7 meter. Okay. So this is the things available here. So the question is about finding the area of the ring. So pi into r square minus r square. This is what we are going to use here. Okay. So this is what we are going to use here. So over here, you guys could easily find that this is 35. So then this is also 35 plus 7. This is 42. So this is 42. This is 35. Usually students go for finding square of 42, wasting a lot of time, and finding square of 35, wasting a lot of time. Actually, it will be like pi into 42 square minus 35 square. Even we don't need to write this step. We will be solving it like pi into 42 plus 35 into 42 minus 35. Okay, so pi is 22 by 7. 42 plus 35, that is 77. 42 minus 35, that is 7. You can easily cancel. Okay, so 22 into 77 is the right answer. Okay, that will be equal to 1694. Okay, that will be equal to 1694. So let's move on to the next question. So this is just a case of converting. Go ahead. Gracie, I find your answer. Good, good. Everyone, just try this. So everyone, just like the video, share with your friends who are appearing for this exam. Okay, sharing is occurring. Okay, good. Actually, a very small number of students are preparing and writing for this exam. Okay, so those who are participating in this exam should be aware about these sessions which is happening over here. So just share this video with your friends. Okay, then only we could come up with similar videos later. Since this particular exam as well as area is concentrated by a very few, that is where you guys are not finding many videos like this. Okay, we need to cater each and every one who is preparing for this particular exam. That is why we are creating these videos. So this is your guys responsibility to give it maximum promotions. Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, I can find the answers over here in the chat. So over here, a wire can be bent in the form of a circle of radius 56 centimeter. So this is radius of the circle. If it is bent in the form of square, then it will be. So the perimeter of the circle will be equal to perimeter of the square, because perimeter will not change. Area will change, but perimeter will not change, since the same wire is used for constructing another shape. So perimeter of circle, that is 2 pi r, it should be equal to 4a. So 2 pi, that like when you can take it like 2 into 22 by 7, and radius equal to 56, that will be equal to 4a. We don't know what the value of a. Question is about what is a square. Question is about what is a square. So you can cancel here. So this is 8 into 7. So 8. So 4a will be equal to 2 into 22 into 8. So a will be equal to 2 into 22 into 8 divided by 4. Okay, so now you guys can easily cancel this. So this will be 2. So 2 into 22 into 2, that is 44 into 2, that is 88. Answer is square of 88. Okay, square of 88, that is 7744 square centimeters. Okay, very good. Those who given it right, very good. So let's move on to the next area, that is purely about solids. So solids, few important things, that is like volume. Okay, volume is the most important thing regarding solids. So we could start from cuboid. Okay, we could start. Actually, I'm in a cube phase, so I'm not going to look into all the shapes, only look into few important shapes for the exam. So this is the cuboid. So it will be having a length here. Okay, it will be having a breadth here as well as a height. Okay, as well as a height it is having. So volume will be length into breadth into height. Okay, so or in another way, it will be like base area. In many cases, volume you can find like base area. In many cases, base area into height. But that shapes need to be symmetrical, like horizontal symmetry is required. So base area into height. So horizontally symmetric objects like cylinder. Okay, this will apply. For a cuboid, this will apply. So horizontally symmetric objects we need to have. Okay, we need to have horizontally symmetric objects. Then this particular one will be working, because if you make a line through the center, it should divide the particular thing into two equal halves. Eva Divedi, after I think After 10 minutes, I will be looking into reasoning topics also. Okay. After 10 minutes, I think by this, the arithmetic portion is getting over. After 10 minutes, we will be starting the reasoning topics also. Don't worry, be here. Okay. Over here, volume will be equal to length into breadth into height. So similarly, you can find the lateral surface area as well as total surface area. Total surface area will be like, you can find there are two pieces of length into breadth. Okay. And there are two pieces of breadth into height, like front and rear, breadth into height, as well as two pieces of length into height is also here. Two pieces of length into height is also over here. So with this, you can find the total surface area. That is a case of a cuboid. But this is not the important thing. The important thing is the diagonal of the cuboid. So diagonal of the cuboid means which is the longest ladder or an iron rod or any rod you can kept inside a cuboidal room. So diagonal of a cuboid, that is important. And the equation for that is root of L square plus B square plus H square. Okay. This is about a cuboid. This is about a cuboid. Similarly, few more shapes are there. Let me reduce the size because I need to include lot of things over here. So I'm just reducing the size here. So cuboid is over. Now the next you can look into like cylinder. Next shape, cylinder will be better. So cylinder, everyone may be familiar. Okay, actually image-based questions are not there. So simply knowing the equations are enough. Okay, so this is height and it will be having a radius. As I mentioned, volume equal to base area. Base area means pi r square. What is the height? H. So that is a volume. Okay, so there is another thing, that is curved surface area. Curved surface area, that is when you open this cylinder, you will be getting like a rectangle. So the perimeter of the rectangle, that is 2 pi r. Okay, so that is the perimeter. And when you go for the length part, 2 pi r is enough. And breadth here will be h. So curved surface area, you can use the equation 2 pi r h. Total surface area, you can add two squares also, sorry, two circles at the top and bottom, 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. Okay, just keep these equations in mind for solving questions from cylinder. Next is a connected figure, that is cone. Cone is very much connected to cylinder. Okay, cone will also having a radius. Cone is also having a radius. Similarly, cone is having a slant height. Okay, so this is the height of the cone and this is slant height. Okay, slant height L means root of r square plus h square, that is slant height. Okay, so volume is connected to the cylinder because a cylinder as well as a cone having same height and same radius will be in a relation like 1/3 pi r square h. Okay, so you can find the relation 1/3 pi r square h. So if you are provided with some sand and you need to fill a cylinder with a cone, you need to fill it thrice the cone and you can dump those sand into that cylinder. So the cylinder will be filled. So over here, a curved surface area is here. So for that, we are using the equation pi r L. That is curved surface area. And L, you will be getting it from here. Total surface area, that is pi r L plus the circle, pi r square. Enough. Over. Cone is over. The equation of the cone is over. Actually, we are in a very quick way. We need to go because we need to finish up plenty of things in the next 1 hour. So over here, we are coming to the next shape. What is the next shape? Sphere. Okay, with the sphere, you guys need to assume for hemisphere and everything, I request. So sphere, you will be having area is equal to 4 by 3. I'm sorry. Volume will be equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. That is the volume. Okay, 4 by 3 pi r cube is the volume. Just keep it in mind. Okay, 4 by 3 pi r cube is the volume. So similarly, if you take the case of a hemisphere, it will be half. Okay, it will be half. For a hemisphere, volume will be 2 by 3 pi r cube. That is their relation. So similarly for a sphere, total surface area, actually every surface is covered. So total surface area is 4 pi r square. Okay, but for a hemisphere, total surface area will be like 4 in half of 4 pi r square, that is 2 pi r square plus one more pi r square, that is the base area of a circle, that is total 3 pi r square. This is the total surface area. Okay, keep these equations in mind while solving question from this topic. We are in a quicker manner to get into the questions. You can take a screenshot if you want. So go ahead with this question. A direct question is here. Okay, those who are watching this video, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. So the length of the longest rod that can be placed in a room which is 12 meter long, 9 meter broad, and 8 meter high is QQ. The length of the longest rod that can be placed. What will you do for this question? What will be doing for this question? We will take diagonal of a cuboid. We will take what? Diagonal of a cuboid. Longest rod that can be placed. Take the diagonal. Take the diagonal. That is enough. Take the diagonal. Root of 12 square plus 9 square plus 8 square. Root of 12 square. That means the root of, 12 square is 144. 9 square, 81. 8 square, 64. Take the sum. Take the sum. It will be like 289. Root of 289, that is 17. Isn't it? Root of 289. Okay. 17 is the right answer. So let's move on to the next question. Gracie, good. Okay, next question. The cost of canvas. Question is getting into the application level. Question is getting into the application level. The cost of the canvas required for a conical tent of height 8 meter and diameter of base 12 meter at the rate of 3.50 per square meter is. So the question is asking about curved surface area. Since the tent, we will look for curved surface area. Base area we will not include for a tent. Okay, because we will adjust with the grass at the base of the tent usually. Okay. So anyway, for the cost of canvas required for a conical tent, height 8 meter and diameter of the base is given. From this, you need to find radius 6 meter. Okay, what will you find? We will find curved surface area. What is the equation for curved surface area? That is pi r L. What is L here? L is root of r square plus h square. We have both the value. R equal to 6 square. Okay, h is equal to 8. So it is 8 square. Values are quite familiar. 36, 64, root, it is 10. Because root of 100 is asked in this question. So it is simply 100. So you have got the value of L. So curved surface area or area of this particular thing is like, you can find like 22 by 7, radius 6, L is equal to 10. Okay, so this is curved surface area. So this much square meters is there for the canvas. Per square meter is 3.50 rupees. So for that, we will be multiplying curved surface area with 22 by 7 into 6 into 10 into 3.50. Okay, so now you can cancel this. So because this is the price. Okay, so area with the price, this is 2, this is 11. Okay, so 11 into 6 into 10, that is 66 into 10, 660 rupees. Option D. Option D. Rim and Gracie given it. Very good. 660 rupees. Shall we move to the next question? Next question is here. 3 cubes of iron whose edges are 6 centimeter, 8 centimeter, 10 centimeter respectively are melted. So in this process, what is a constant? Volume is constant. Okay. Sum of volumes will be equal to the volume of new cube formed. So if you got the volume, this is a cube. Okay. So cube. So for a cube, volume, cube is having all the sides are equal. Say it is A, then volume is A cube. Okay, and total surface area, you can take like 6A square because each face is a square. Okay, so in this question, we are using this particular one, volume equal to A cube. Okay, volume equal to A cube. That is what we are using in this. So 3 cubes of iron whose edges are 6 centimeter, 8 centimeter, and 10 centimeter respectively are melted and formed into a single cube. The edge of new cube formed is. Edge of new cube formed is. So total volume. Total volume. Now we need to find. So total volume. Volume of cube 1. Volume of cube 1, that is 6 cube. That is 216. So 6 cube plus 8 cube plus 10 cube. So 6 cube is like 216, 8 cube 512, and 10 cube 1000. So now we need to take the sum of this. So 1512 plus 216, 1728. Okay, 1728. It's a quite famous number. Okay, 1728. So side. So this is equal to A cube. Okay, consider for the new cube volume equal to 1728. That is A cube equal to 1728. So A is equal to cube root of 1728. That is simply 12. Option A is the right answer. Option A is the right answer. And Gracie given it right. Very good. So practice as much as questions from this chapter also. Now we are getting into some reasoning questions. Okay. So reasoning questions are mainly from the topics. Let me include the topics. Reasoning questions you can find from the topics like blood relations. Blood relations, you can find questions. And similarly, you could find questions from seating arrangement. Seating arrangement. And you could find question from direction sensors. And you can find question from coding and decoding. Mainly, okay, decoding. And you can find question from number series. You can find question from like odd one. These questions you can find questions. So number series as well as odd ones are depends upon plenty of logic. So 1 or 2 questions are not enough. So you guys just go through as much as logics possible. Okay. Other topics are easy to get marks because are working on single logics. Okay. Only purely working on single logic. Number series and odd one depends upon the examiner. He can choose a number of logics. Okay. So practice as much as question from this topic. But you need to be thorough in this, because same model, same type of questions you can expect, and easily solvable questions are there. Okay, so we will be looking into the questions. So pointing towards a photograph, Mr. Sharma said, she is the only daughter of mother of my brother's sister. Okay, it's a very long statement. So before getting into these particular thing in blood relations, we need to include some sort of methods for solving easily those questions. So easily solving these questions are important, because we need to save a lot of time. So we're getting a holistic understanding. We will use circles to represent females and square to represent males. And for couples, we are using this kind of representation. For siblings, brother, sister, and those kinds of relations, we are using these kinds of representations. This is to show siblings. Generations, we are using vertical lines. So this is father of this particular girl. Okay, this is a girl and this is her father. Okay, in this way we are representing, and this is her mother. This is this is her son. Okay, so this is previous generation and this is future generation. Okay, we are representing it like this for getting a holistic understanding of the question. So while discussing the question, you will be getting an idea. So over here, pointing towards a photograph, Mr. Sharma said what? She's the only daughter of mother of my brother's sister. Use the square circle method. That will be giving you a holistic understanding. I will show you how we will draw that. Okay. Those who haven't subscribed our channel, please subscribe. And those who haven't liked, those who like the videos, they can like over here using the like symbol. Okay. Q, pointing towards a photograph, Mr. Sharma said. Sharma is saying something. Be clear about the questions. So Mr. Sharma said, she is the only daughter of mother of my brother's sister. So I just see the request of Udandiga. Let's see, Udandiga. If I can find time after solving these questions, I will consider your request also. Okay. So I will be taking up to 6 o'clock. Within that, if I can finish with the questions available with me, we'll be definitely looking into that. Okay. Pointed towards a photograph, Mr. Sharma said. So what Sharma is mentioning here? What is Sharma is mentioning here? Only daughter of mother of my brother's sister. Okay. So only daughter of mother of my brother's sister. So this is Sharma. So this is Sharma's brother. Okay. This is a Sharma's brother's sister. Okay. So it's a female character. So she is the only daughter of Sharma's brother's sister. Okay. So this is Sharma's brother's sister's mother. This is how that family tree looks like. Okay. That means that lady is the sister of Sharma. What is the question? How is Mr. Sharma related to the lady? Mr. Sharma is the brother of the lady. Brother of the lady. Okay, Mr. Sharma is the brother of the lady. So you can choose none of this. Okay. So these kinds of traps you can expect. This is a rare incident, but you can expect. So next question. Q is the brother of C. Actually, there are 3 types of questions you can expect from blood relation. First type you just seen earlier. This is a second type, and one more type is there. Okay. So Q is the brother of C, and C is the sister of Q. R and D are brother and sister. R is the son of A, while A and C are wife and husband. How is Q related with D? Okay, go ahead. Q is the brother of C. Okay. Q is the brother of C. C is the sister of Q. That figure is over. R and D are brother and sisters. Okay, fine. R and D are brother and sister. R is the son of A. Fine. R is the son of A. That means D is the female character here. R is the son of A. While A and C are husband and wife. So A is the male candidate. So here R is the son of A. So R is the son of couples A and C. So the family tree will be looking like this. So D is the sister of R. Question is, how is Q related with D? Q is the brother of D's mother. So Q is maternal uncle. Ah, Gracie, good. Uncle, maternal uncle of D. Enough. There will be options. Okay. So next question. Read the following informations carefully to give the answers of the following questions. So this is the third type. Okay. This is the third type. You guys just solve. I'll have some water in between. Read the following informations carefully to give the answers of the following questions. P cross Q means P is the brother of Q. Okay. P cross Q means P is the brother of Q. P minus Q means P is the sister of Q. P plus Q means P is the father of Q. P divided by Q means P is the mother of Q. Which of the following options represents? M is the nephew of N. That means M should be a male because nephew means male. Okay. Nephew means male. Okay. So M needs to be a male. Option A, we can't find the gender of M. Why? Because N is the sister of K. K plus M. K is the father of M. So we are not getting the gender here. So M is not having gender here. M is not having gender here. M is not having gender here. M cross T is here. So M is the brother of T. So here M is male. Now you can draw the remaining also. So N is the sister of K. K is the father of M. So fine. So far you are getting M is the nephew of N. Okay, because N's brother's son is M. So option D, nephew, niece, all these words you need to be familiar for solving these questions. So now we are moving into the next topic because these three types of questions you can expect from blood relations. Now the next questions is direction sense questions. So direction sense questions, every time you need to be aware about the directions, north, south, east, and west. Okay, so you need to be aware about the directions. Okay, and this is northeast, this is southwest, and this is southeast, and this is northwest. Okay, be clear about the directions. Now let's move on to the question. Raman walked 2 kilometers west from his office, then turned south, covering 4 kilometers. Finally, he walked 3 kilometers towards east and again moved 1 kilometer towards west. So how far is Raman from his initial position? Okay, how far is Raman from his initial position? So Raman walked 2 kilometers. So we just assume from here, just take some directional coordinates. North, south, east, west. Raman walked 2 kilometers west. Raman walked 2 kilometers. Okay, Raman walked 2 kilometers west. Then turned south. Okay, he's turning south and covering 4 kilometers. Okay, fine, covering 4 kilometers. Next step is very crucial. So he walked 3 kilometers towards east again. Next step is very crucial because he is walking 3 kilometers. 2 kilometers, he is reaching here. Then 1 more kilometer. Now the entire journey 3 kilometers. Now he is here. Okay, 3 kilometers towards east. And again move 1 kilometer towards west. So he is moving 1 kilometer to west again, like this. Okay, now he reached here. So how far is Raman from his initial point? That is the question. So how far he is from the initial point? Okay, how far he is from the initial point. Let's read the question once again. Raman walked 2 kilometers west from his office, then turned south, covering 4 kilometers. Then finally he walked 3 kilometers towards east. So 2 kilometers here, another 1 kilometer. Then he again moved 1 kilometer west. So he just reached here. So what is the distance? Simply 4 kilometers. Okay. So he is just 4 kilometers away. He is simply 4 kilometers away from his starting point. This is the distance. This is the distance. This is not the distance. This is the distance. Okay, 4 kilometers. So let's move to the next question. Rashmi walks. Okay, so these kinds of walking questions you can very good. Like over here, it's Gracie, Ruth Mary, Rim had given it right. Good. So Rashmi walks 10 kilometers towards north. She walks 6 kilometers towards south. Then from here, she moves 3 kilometers towards east. How far and in which direction is she with reference to her starting point? Okay, how far and in which direction is she with a reference to her starting point? So let's have the direction coordinates. Which direction she with reference to her starting point? This is very important aspect. Okay, with respect to their final point, everything has been asked. So Rashmi walks 10 kilometers towards north. 10 kilometers north. She walks 6 kilometers towards south. So now she is only effectively walked 4 kilometers. Okay, this 4 kilometers. She moves 3 kilometers east. Okay, so in which direction? She is in actually northeast direction. Okay, this is Pythagoras theorem. Root of 4 square plus 3 square, that is 5. So 5 kilometers northeast. Good. Gracie, Rim, Ruth Mary, good. Okay, 5. Next, 2 people are standing back to back. They each walk away from each other. They each walk away from each other for 4 feet. Then they both turn left and walk for another 3 feet and then stop. Now, how many feet apart they standing? Okay, so 2 peoples back to back, and one person walked towards left and another is going towards right. So they each walk away 4 feet. So this is 4 feet, this is 4 feet, and now they both turn left. Okay, when he turned left, it will be downward. When this person is turned left, this will be towards here. Okay, so the question, that means this is 3 feet and this is 3 feet. The question is asking about sum of these two distances, how far they are. So it is also an application of Pythagoras. Root of 3 square plus 4 square, that is 5 only. So distance is 5. This distance is 5. So 5 plus 5, 10. Okay, 5 plus 5, 10. Option D. Very good. Okay, option D, 10 is the right answer. Ruth, Udantika, Gracie, Rim, good. Okay, so this is direction sense. And now you can look into questions from seating arrangement. And after seating arrangement, we will be looking into coding and decoding. So seating arrangement, there are 2 types of seating arrangement. Mainly, one is linear and the other is circular. Let's solve one question from the linear. Okay. So whenever you solving these questions, you need to have a basic framework. Okay. Whenever you solving question from this particular area, you need to have a basic framework. That is the first one which we want in this question. So just solve this question. P is sitting next to Q. Q. Basic framework means you need to draw like how many people here? PQRST 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the basic framework looks like. You need to reserve 5 position first. That is the first thing. Okay, done. How this figure will looks like. P is sitting next to Q. P is sitting next to TQ. It is being given. So let's draw here the basic figure. How many people? 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first of all, try to find any of the nth. So R is sitting next to S. S is not sitting with the T. T is on the last end of the bench. T may be here. T may be here. We don't know sure. We're not sure. R is on the second position from the right. This is the left side and this is the right side. Okay. R is on the second position from the right. So this is the position of R. It is from the second position from the right. And R is sitting next to S. S is not sitting with the T. So P is on the right of Q and T. It is given that P is on the right of Q and T. So T cannot be here. T is on the last end, so T will be here. Because T is on the, sorry, because P is on the right of Q and T. Because P is on the right of Q and T, so T should be here. Because T cannot be afford a position here. Now, P and R are sitting together. So P may be here or P may be here. P and R are sitting together. So next is P is sitting next to Q. So P will be sitting here. P is sitting next to Q. So S may be here. So who is sitting? So the question is, are all what positions P is sitting? So P is sitting between Q and R. So we got the positions between Q and R. So P is at the middle. Okay. Anybody got the answer? So this is the linear arrangement. Okay. This is the linear arrangement. Okay, clear. This is the linear arrangement. Let's move on to the circular arrangement next. Yeah, good. Gracie, good. So next question is over here. It is a circular arrangement. A circular arrangement, now you can solve. So last time it was D. Very good. So earlier it's Ruth Mary Udandiga given it right. Next question, a circular arrangement. So for solving this question, we'll be simply having a circle. Okay, let's simply have a circle. Now you can mark the positions on the circle based on the question. So here, how many people? Okay, actually, I'm not. You guys can solve it with me. How many people? 8 peoples. So I'm just giving my basic format. So this will be my 8 positions. Okay, I marked for the 8 positions. Now I need to place one person anywhere over here, sitting around a circle facing at the center. Manav is the immediate right of Bundy. Okay, so I need to place Bundy over here. So immediate right of Bundy, that is Manav. Okay, so this is Manav and this is Bundy. Any other data? Manav is immediate right of Bundy. Who is the fourth to the right of Kavya? Who is to the fourth to the right of Kavya? Let's count to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Kavya over here. Okay. So Bundy is fourth to the right of Kavya. Since they are focusing towards the center. Okay. Since they are focusing towards the center, this is right, this is left. Okay. They're focusing away, then this will be left. Then over here, this will be left and this will be right. Okay. Be clear about the side and left right like conversions. Assume that you guys are sitting inside this. Okay. Assume that you are also part of this. So next statement. Manav is immediate to the right of Bundy, who is fourth to the right of Kavya. Okay, who is fourth to the right of Kavya. That statement is over now. Payal is second to the left of Bundy. Payal is second. 1, 2. This is Payal. Payal is second to the left of Bundy. So, who is third to the right of Bundy? That means who is coming here is the question. So, over here, Payal is second to the left of Bundy and is fourth to the right of Vasir. So, Payal is second to the left of Bundy and fourth to the right of Vasir. So, for the Vasir, this is his right and this is his left. So, right fourth. So, this is the Vasir's position. Okay. So, fourth to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, up to Vasir is over now. Now, the next statement. Up to here we solved. Kasturba is second to the right of Dev. Kasturba is second to the right of Dev. So, Kasturba is on the right side of Dev. Then on the right side, we need to solve. Kasturba is right to the second to the right of Dev, who is second to the right of Himmat. So, Kasturba is second to the right of Himmat. So, Kasturba is at the center. So, Kasturba should come here. No, sorry. So, 1 second. Kasturba is second to the right of Dev. So, Dev should be here. Then Kasturba is fine here. Kasturba. Okay. So, Dev is second to the Kasturba is second to the right of Dev. Dev who is second to the right of Himmat. Oh, we need to solve every position to find Himmat as the answer. So Himmat is the right answer. Let me see how many of you solved for Himmat here. How many of you solved for Himmat? Nobody for Himmat. Okay, option D, Himmat is the right answer. Okay, Gracie, Udandiga, and Ruth Mary. Good, great. Let's see the next question. Okay, so next is from coding and decoding. So I will give you a technique for coding, decoding questions. Whenever you start solving coding, decoding questions, every time keep the alphabets in this particular order. Just write the numbers first. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 second. Okay. 11, 12, 13. Start in the reverse order. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So numbers as well as alphabet in the reverse order is easy to find from here. So this is A, this is B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Up to Z, I have written here. Okay. So Z is the first letter in the opposite direction. Okay. Z is the first letter in the opposite direction. And Y is the second letter in the reverse direction. And B is the second letter in the forward direction. Okay. So just keep, you can take a screenshot of this. Whenever we want, we can come back to this later. Okay. So over here, the word fact is called as like IDFW. FACT. So just like we need to find a relation. Okay, we just need to find a relation. So IDFW. So 1 second. We need to take the help of this. So it's better. Always you need to have a copy of this in your hands, rough sheet. Okay. I mean, write these things whenever the exam started. I don't told you to take the copy in a paper. Okay. Just write it in the exam hall over there. Okay. So I'm just having that over here. So now I can now easily find that. So here my F, here my I. So I can find 1, 2, 3. This is third letter. A to D. This is my A. This is the position of T. Third letter. Okay. So actually a relation of 3 is being repeated here. So what is the word deep? D plus 3. D plus 3. That is D here. 1, 2, 3. That is G. G here. Then E. E plus 3. 1, 2, 3. H. Another H. And P4. Another 3. From the P. Where's P? 1, 2, 3. That is S. G, H, H, S. Okay, it was simple. Okay, you can take this whenever you want. Or you can count it in the mind also. Okay, but depends upon your comfortability. Okay. Udantika, Gracie, Rim, Ruth, everyone given it right. Very good. So over here, RPTFA stands for blade. Okay. And how will you code bail? Different types of coding, decoding. Now we are discussing. Okay, different types of coding, decoding. So over here, RPTFA, that is for blade. Okay, or it should be written like this. Blade coded as blade coded as RPTFA. So over here we want for blade. So B coded as R, A coded as T, L coded as P, E coded as A, RTPA. Very good. Very good. Very good. Gracie and Udantika. Very good. So let's move on to the next question. Next type. And this is one among the widely gone wrong type. Let me see how you guys are solving this. If cages are called rockets, rockets are called traps, traps are called planets, planets are called aeroplanes, aeroplanes are called cycles, cycles are called cars. What is Earth? What is Earth? Assume there is a place, another planet or another continent or another country. In that country, they have different names. If they find cages, they will tell that the rockets. Oh, it is a rocket. When they say rockets are flying, they will be saying like that a trap is going into the space. Okay. And when they say traps, they will be calling them as planets. So when they see a planet, okay, when they see a planet like planet Mars, they will call them as aeroplane Mars. So what is Earth? Earth is a planet. Earth planet is called in their language as planes. So it is airplane. And it is Udantika, Gracie, and Ruth Mary. Usually students gone wrong in these kinds of questions. Okay, common mistake area was this. In a certain code, tail is written as 38. How will you code cave? Solve this. How will you code cave? Okay, we need to take the help of this particular one. That is why I taken here. Tail. Tail. Maybe reverse or maybe forward position, maybe here. T is 20. A is 1. L. Where is L? L is 12. E is 5. We don't need to wait for getting answers if you have these alphabets with you. So let's see whether it is 39 or not. 21. And this is 33. Sorry. Over here. Sorry, this is simplified. So 21, 33 plus 5, 38. So if you are not getting the record sum, go for the reverse way, okay? So for the 20, give 7 and try to calculate. In that logic also you can use. So came. So C is 3. Okay. A is 1. Sorry. M is 13. E is 5. So this is like 17 plus 5, 22. Okay, these kinds of alpha numeric questions also you can expect. Okay. So these are the important topics. And in between, Udantika asked me for a calendar and clock. Let's see how much I can finish. So 1 second, guys. Let me take another blank page. Okay. Let me take a blank page for solving that. Okay, now I think my screen is now visible. So now we are going to solve for calendar. So a quick walk through the calendar is being discussing here. So I'm giving you January 1. Okay, January 1, 2024. I'm just discussing about the calendar of any of the planet, maybe not Earth. Okay, any other place. So January 1st, 2024. Assume it like Saturday. Okay, or let's see. Don't want. I will go for the day today. Okay, it's February. Okay, February 3rd is Saturday. Assume. Not need to assume, it's actually Saturday. Okay, we can discuss with the actual day. So February 3rd is a Saturday. So my question is about what is February 10th. Just put your response in the chat. What will be February 10th? We are going to discuss about the shortcut of calendar. What will be February 10th? Okay. Actually, calendar was not a plan of my discussions today since Udantika asked. Okay. So this is a topic on demand. So maybe you can expect question from this also, because it's also a reasoning topic. So February 10th, definitely Saturday, because every 7 days, the week will repeat. Okay, you can see it in the calendar. Every 7 days, the week will repeat. So what about February 20, like February 20th? What day will be February 20th? February 10th will be Saturday. So what day will be February 20th? How will you find? February 10th, we know it will be Saturday. Okay. So what is the data? After 7 days, that means 17th also Saturday. That is our data. Okay. So 17th plus 3 days. Then only the 10 days will be there. Okay. So another 3 days. That means Sunday, that is 18th, 19th Monday, and 20th Tuesday. This is a tedious task. Okay, this is a tedious task. Since if I know that February 10 is Saturday, if I want to find February 20th, I will take the difference. How much is the difference? This is 10 days. That is the difference. I know that after every 7 days, the day will repeat. I know that. Okay. So I will divide 10 with 7. Okay. I will divide the number of difference in days with 7. So I'm getting 1 here. So this is 7. Remainder is 3. So I will take this remainder. This is valuable. This is the most valuable thing in calendar. So my reminder, I will call this reminder as odd day. I will call this reminder as odd day. Okay. I will call this reminder as odd day. Okay. So February 10 Saturday. My odd day after 10 days is 3. So Saturday plus 3 days. What will be Saturday plus 3 days? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So February 20 will be Tuesday. February 20 will be Tuesday. Okay. Add the odd day. I will ask you another question. January 1st, 2024 is assume it like a Thursday. Then January 31st. January 31st, 2024 will be what day? You can put your response in the chat. January 1st, 2024 is Thursday. Then January 31st, 2024 is what day? What day? Udantika, what is your guess? This is a topic on demand, which is come in the chat. And you can expect questions from this area also. That is why I included. Okay. So 1st and 31st, what is the difference? What is the difference? 30 days is the difference. So go for finding the odd day, 30 by 7. So this is 4, 28, 2. So adding 2 days are enough. Thursday plus 2. Friday, Saturday. This is this much easy. Okay. Find the days in between, divide with the 7, take the odd days. Okay. So I will give you a technique also. So if a 28 month, there will be 0 odd day. Why? It is divisible by 7. For a 29 day month, odd day will be 1. For a 30 day month, the odd day will be 2 because 28, the remainder will be 2. So 31 day month, the remainder will be, what will be the remainder? The remainder will be 3. So I will ask another question. January 1st, 2024. We go for Thursday as same. Thursday. Then March 1st. March 1st, 2024. If it is not asked within same month, I can't see your complete question. I'll put one more message here. Okay, because that reaction symbol is there. So March 21st, 2024 is what? If it is not asked within the same year, okay, fine. We are getting into that. Okay, we will definitely discuss that also. Don't worry. Okay, let me go within the same month. We see how we solve within same month. Now we will see how we solve within same year. Okay, after that we will go for different years. Okay. So just solve this case. How many days are now remaining in January? How many days are remaining there? 30 days are remaining in January. How many days are remaining in February? 29 days because it is leap year. 2024 is a leap year. How will you know that it is a leap year? The year will be a multiple of 4, then it is a leap year. Okay, 2023 or 2022 is not a multiple of 4, so it is not a leap year. So February 29. Okay. So how many days are there? 30 days. How many odd day? Or you can add. So up to March 1st, how many days are there? 30 days in January, 29 days in February, and in March, we need to consider 1 day. So total, it is a day after 60 days. It is a day after 60 days. Go for dividing with the 7. So this is like 8, 56. So 4 is a reminder. Or you can do it in this way also. How many odd days in 30 days? It is 2. How many odd days in 29 days? It is 1. How many odd days in 1 day? 1 day on 1. So that is also 4. So Thursday plus 4. Thursday plus 4. That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Monday will be the answer. Okay. So this is how we are doing days within an year. So what about within different years? That is Udantika's doubt also. Now let me get into different years. So January 1st, 2024 is Monday, assume. January 1st, 2025 is what day? Okay, January 1st, 2024 is Monday. January 1st, 2025 is what day? How many days are between this? How many days? 366 days. Okay, 366 days. Because 2024 having February 29. Okay, so if it is 365 days, this is a normal year. That means 52 weeks. That is 364 days plus 1 day. Okay, plus 1 day. Leap year. That is 365 days. Sorry, 366 days. That is 52 weeks plus 2 days. Okay, that is 364 days plus 2 days. That is leap year. So 366 days means 2 odd day. 2 odd day. Okay. So January 1st is Monday means January 1st, 2025. Add 2 days here. Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. One more question. January 1st, 2025. January 1st, 2025. You can take that as reference. Wednesday. What day will be? January 1st, 2026. Now you guys, your turn. Now you guys can ask, you can solve this. Your turn. January 1st, 2025 is Wednesday. January 1st, 2026. January 1st, 2026. Solve this. Wednesday plus how many days we will add? How many days are in between? Is there a February 29 in January 2025? No. Only 365 days are in between. So Wednesday plus 1. Very good, Nandita. It is Thursday. So this chapter is this much easy. Okay. Udantika, did you get the idea? Aman, Adarsh. One more question. One more question. So, yes, one more question. January 1st, 2021 is Monday. Then February 3rd, 2023 is what? January 1st, 2021 is Monday. Then February 3rd, 2023 is what day? How will you solve? How will you solve? Step by step, we need to solve this. Step by step solving. Okay. January 1st, 2021 to January 1st, 2022. We need to solve first. How many days? 365 days. So this is Monday. Okay. This is Monday. So here, 1 odd day. because this is 365. That means 2022, January 1st is Tuesday. Next, again 365 days are there for January 1st, 2023. So one more odd day is getting added. So you can add these odd days together at the end. So one over here, another one over here. So total 2 odd days. Monday plus 2. Tuesday, Wednesday. So this is 2023. Wednesday. Sorry. So this is Wednesday. The question is about February 3rd. How many days are now remaining in January? 30 days. How many days are for February 3rd? 3 days. So in 30 days, how many odd days? 2. 28, reminder 2. 3, simply 3. So 2 plus 3, 5. So Wednesday plus 5. Wednesday plus 5. That is the answer. That is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay. So January up to 31st, 30 days are there. You can take the sum, 33 also. So 28 plus 5. So 5 odd days still there. So in that way, yeah, very good. In that way, you can solve questions like this. Now, calendar, I think this much is enough. For the clock, you can discuss clock. So clock, 2 things are there. Mirror image of a clock. Okay, 2 important things which can expect in questions. That is like mirror image of a clock. There is a shortcut for solving mirror image of clock. And next is angle subtended. Okay, next one is angle between the hands of the clock. We can solve for a mirror image of clock first. So it will be like mirror image will be like, so say a time. What is the time now? Like 5:59. We can solve for 5:30. So a clock showing the time 5:30. Okay, and a mirror is there. Okay, like a wall clock is showing time 5:30. So what will be the mirror image? What will be the mirror image of this clock? Maybe there will be a question like this. Okay. Others, January 31. January is having 31 days. Okay, that is fine. So how many days are there from January 1st to January 31 in the last question? January 1st to January 31. Days are 30 in between. Because we know that January 1st is Wednesday. We just finalized January 1st is Wednesday. Others, Aman. Okay. January 1st is Wednesday. Okay. So from January 1st, we are starting calculations. Okay, fine, Aman. Okay, good. So January 1st is having, I just found a chart that is making January 1, January is having 31 days. Yes, that is true. But what we are usually doing in the previous question also, you can find that difference. Same thing we had already done. Okay, difference in number of days. That is what we are taking. Okay. So be careful. A single odd day will result in a wrong answer. So 5:30 mirror image. What we will use here? What we will use? We have 2 ways, 2 constants. The format will be like constant minus real time. Will be giving you reflected time. This is the technique. So constant, there are 2 constants. There are 2 constants. First constant is 1160. Okay, if the question is not solvable within this constant, you can use the second constant, 2360. Okay, if the time given is less than 11 o'clock, okay, less than 11 o'clock, use 1160. If the time given is 11 or more than 11 o'clock, go for 2360. Okay, so this is the shortcut. So this is the constant, 2 constants. If the given time, this is 5:30, this is less than 11 o'clock. So we can put it here, 5:30. So the reflected clock will be showing 30, 11 minus 5, 6. So the reflected clock will be showing the time 6:30. Okay, reflected clock will be showing the time 6:30. One more question. What will be the reflected time if the clock is showing time 7:30? What will be the reflected time? If a clock is giving a reflected time like 7:30, you can subtract constant minus reflected time will give you real time. Okay, this equation also you can use constant minus reflected time equal to real time. In this way also you can solve, because sometimes the question may be seeing that Ramu sees 7:30 as a mirror image of his clock. What is the actual time? Just subtract the reflected time from the constant. It is also giving the real time. Okay, so over here also we are using 1160. So here you can use 7:30, so will be 4:30. Okay, and another way, another time, sometimes 24-hour clocks, so the time may be given like 19:30. Two ways of solving this. You can convert the time into 7:30 and solve, or you can directly, since the time 19:30 is more than 11 o'clock, you can convert and make it below 11, or you can do it like 2360 minus 19:30. Results are same, no difference. 4:30. Okay, so 24-hour format also you can do. This is about reflected time. Next is angles. Angles of a clock. So for finding angles of a clock, there is a shortcut. Okay, so there is a shortcut formula for finding angle of clock. That is like over here. So everyone know that a clock is, let me take a circle. So this is a clock. So this is 360 degree. Okay, so some basic ideas you need to have to be about a clock. So this is like 12 mark, 6, 3, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 over here, and 11 over here. Okay, so over here you can find two types of hands. One is hour hand, and the next is minutes hand, and one more hand is there for the second hand. Not that much relevant. Okay, so hour hand will take 12 hours to complete one complete rotation. Okay, that means 12 hours to make 360-degree rotation. So 1 hour will be equal to 360 by 12. Okay, that is 30 degree. So for a hour clock, it will be taking 1 hour to complete a 30-degree movement. From this position to this position, it will be 30 degree, and from here to here, the hour hand will take 1 hour to move. Okay, next is minute hands. Minute hands, 60 minutes is enough to cover 360 degree. So 1 minute will be like 360 by 6. That is, sorry, 360 by 60. That is 6 minutes. So minute hand will take 60 minutes. Okay, minutes hand will be taking 60 minutes to finish its rotation. Okay, 60 minutes to finish its one rotation. Okay, so it will be only 6 minutes for a degree. 1 minute will be like 6 degree. Let me make a small correction here. So 1 minute, it will be covering 6 degree. Okay, 1 minute, it is covering 6 degree. So keep these values in mind. Okay, keep these values in mind. And shortcut for finding the angle. Shortcut for finding the angle will be like 30 h for hour minus 11 by 2 m. For example, you need to find the angle when the time is 4:20. Okay, assume that our time is 4:20. So the hour hand is on the 4 and the minute hand is on the like 4 again. So every both are very close. Okay, so our hand is a little crossed 4. So this is the position of our hand, and this is the position of minute hand. Minute hand is exactly on the 4. So what will be the small angle? What will be this small angle? So I had given this is H, this is M. So 30 into 4 minus 11 by 2 into 20. So 30 into 4, that is 120. 11 by 2 into 10. Okay, so 11 into 10. So that is 110. So it is 10 degree. In this way, you can solve. I will give you another time. Another time like you can go for 330. Okay, you can solve for 330. 330. What will be the angle subtended? So it will be like 30h minus 11 by 2m. Even if the answer is negative, don't bother about that. Simply avoid that negative value. Okay, you can just consider it like a modulus. So go for the positive. So over here, now you guys can solve. Angle for second hand. So angle for second hand being asked by Nandita. So 1 minute is equal to 6 degree. Okay, as I mentioned, 1 minute will be equal to 6 degree. So 60 minute equal to 6 degree. Okay, Nandita. Okay, this is for Nandita only. You guys can solve that question. So over here, 60 seconds is equal to 6 degree. So 1 second will be like 6 by 60. Okay, degree. That is 1 by 10 degree equal to 1 second. This is not that much relevant. That is why I didn't mention. Okay, Nandita, is it clear? So angle for the second hand you can use. So over here, angle that is usually not considered. Angle will be equal to substitute 30 into 3 minus 11 by 2 into Nandita, fine. 11 by 2 into 30. Cancel 15. So you will be going for a negative value. What is that? 90. 90 minus 11 into 15. 152, 150 plus 15, 165. So minus 75. Don't bother. 75 degree. Okay. 75 degree. Everyone will expect a 90 degree. Okay. Everyone will be expecting a 90 degree because this is 330. The hands we are expecting to be like this. This is minute hand and this will be our hand. But it is not like that because the our hand will be starting departed from here. So already halfway it should move. Okay. The our hand will be already halfway moved from 3. Okay. It is between 3 and 4. You can say it like it is at a position of 3.5. Okay. So this angle is being asked. Okay. It may not be a right angle. So be clear about these two things, angle and this one. It is enough for the calculations of this chapter. Actually, I just extended. Okay. I just extended my session due to the request from the students for the 2 more topics. Okay. Since I think since you guys are having maybe you guys may be having issues in those topics. That is why you just asked. So that is why we had discussed those 2 topics over here. Okay, so I think now I will be handing the session over to our Suraj sir. So he will be taking English sessions from here onwards. So hope you guys enjoyed our session. Please subscribe, share, like on our channel, and you can click on the bell button also. From here onwards, Suraj sir will be joining us with a wonderful English session. So English is also very much important very much important topic for the exam. So be listen everything which he is going to mention over here. So Suraj sir, now you can take from here onwards.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I hope I'm clearly audible.
Yes, sir. Sure, you are audible.
Okay, great.
So I will be leaving, sir.
Thank
So
you,
you
sir.
can
Thank you.
take from here onwards. Yeah, welcome, sir.
Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen. I hope it's clearly visible to everyone. Please let me know if you can see the slides here. Okay. So we would be talking about mainly the English topic. That is, we would be touching through idioms and also some of the synonyms. So these are mainly two important areas wherein you have good amount of questions that are coming from Nift English topics. So if there are any questions or topics related to these that you have doubts, you could please post your queries, questions in the live chat box. What we are going to do is we'll start with idioms. Idioms are quite interesting. Idioms, I'll try to top up almost all the idioms with a story. Okay, because idioms are very easy, but there is also a possibility of getting it wrong. You might guess it wrong. There is a knack in which you can predict the meanings of idioms also. Okay, you can't do that in all the idioms, but in certain idioms you can definitely try to predict it. Okay, so considering the fact that Nift also has negative markings, it won't be a good idea to go for a full throttle wild guessing strategy and all in English. Never do that. Okay, so it start with idioms. I have some of the idioms that I have shared. You might have heard of some of the idioms in this, you might not have heard. Some of them are easy, some of them probably you might not have you might not have heard. So you could start posting it in the live chat box if you have heard of any of these idioms. If any of these idioms are familiar to you, you can slowly start posting it. I'll slowly explain about each one of them in not more than 30 seconds. Okay, so rank and file basically has a history of coming from military. Rank and file basically deals with the way in which military formations are formed and they march. Okay, so based on that, rank and file actually pertains a lot to the ordinary people. That means the ordinary people in the military who are not actually officials. Okay, so that is why the meaning of rank and file is actually ordinary people. So the idiom which goes like rank and file has the meaning of ordinary people. Okay. Similarly, we have the second one, by fits and starts. It's a bit difficult to actually predict the meaning of by fits and starts because you don't get any sort of clue in that particular word. Okay, so that basically means in short periods or not regularly. Okay, we'll go to the third one, a wee bit. A wee bit is a bit more interesting, or a wee bit is actually easier because the clue in that, any idea which is the clue word in that particular idiom, a wee bit, the clue for that particular idiom to figure out what exactly that idiom means, you just need one particular word in that, that is we. We means early hours. Early hours are very young. So wee bit actually means very little, very little in quantity. A wee bit actually means very little in quantity. Okay. The next one is out of the wood. Now, what do you see? Wood. Wood is obviously something that you see a lot in forest, right? So during the earlier times and all, if you are caught up in the forest, it's very difficult to come back to the cities. So when you find it difficult to come back to the cities, it's almost like you have lost it. You have lost how to come back to the cities. You will find it a lot of difficulty in coming back to the city, or you will find it difficult and you will start facing a lot of dangers. So out of the wood basically means that you are getting free from the difficulties and the dangers that are there. Okay, so that's the meaning of out of the wood. Fifth one, I think most of you might have heard of it. I don't know if you guys have played that thumb game wherein you cross your fingers with the other person's or your friend's fingers, and you try to, overrule them by pressing your thumb over theirs. So basically, under his thumb. So when you have control over their thumb, what happens? It is like you are the one who is having all the control. Okay. So under his thumb means under his control. Basically, under his thumb means under his control. Okay, at one's wits end. At one's wits end. So it's basically a state wherein one has reached the limit. One has reached the yes, that's the name. I think Aman has said thumb fight. I forgot. During my childhood days, there were lots of fights like that. I think it's still there. No, I think there's also pen fight. We used to go to tuition classes half an hour early, and we used to have this pen fight, thumb fight, and all. So there are certain people who have extreme power in their thumbs, in their fingers. They have extreme power, and especially the thumb one has power. So they try to overrule. So these are the kind of idioms that I say. If you find this, you can definitely go for a guess. Okay, and the best strategy to answer idioms is that do not look at the options. Okay, do not look at the options when you see a question, when you see an idiom. Without looking at the option, try to guess it. If you don't know, if you haven't heard of that particular idiom in your life, try to guess it. If you have that option, the chances are, I repeat, the chances are very, very high in that. Okay, I don't mean to say that you'll definitely get in, but if you have, you know, contingencies, or if you're finding it very difficult to get a lot of answers, this is one strategy that you can definitely try. Okay, so I would suggest you to try the strategy today night and tomorrow in some of the questions. And if you are getting fair number of questions correctly, if you're getting fair number of idioms correctly, you should definitely try the strategy on Monday. Okay, so that's it. So at one's wits end, number 6, at one's wits end means in a state wherein one does not know what to do. They've reached the limit. So wit basically means that wit basically means your intelligence, being clever and all. So you have reached the limit. You don't know what to do. Okay, I think number 7 is very easy for everyone, between the devil and the deep sea. The reason why I've kept such things is because I want you to know that there would be easy questions also that will be coming up. We will be sharing the PDF of this in the community after this particular live. Number 8 is also, I think, easy for everyone. Burn the midnight oil. So you do not use oil, or you do not use light during the midnight. Under normal circumstances is what I am saying. Okay. So when you are burning the midnight oil, it basically means that you're working very hard during the night. Okay. Number 9 also is number 9 familiar to any of you? Call a spade a spade. Have you heard of it? Do you know the meaning of it, or have you heard somebody using it in the daily conversations and all, or anywhere else? Let me know in the chat box. Number 10 is come up with flying colors. I think it's one of the easiest. It basically means that you are being very successful. Okay. So number 9, call a spade basically means that you are just openly telling what exactly the things are. You know, those brutal truths in life, or uh, reality which a lot of people do not want to say. Some of them, they have the guts, they have the, guts to come and speak out what actually it means. So speak frankly, or openly speak. So where does this come from? Where does spade come from? Obviously the idea of spade is coming from, let me know in the chat box, where is spade coming from? Those who have played cards will be knowing this. It obviously comes from Spain, and there's a particular game. I forgot the name of it. I know the Malayalam name of it. I don't know the English name of it. What's it called? So spade has a very low value. So you need to call out that a spade is a spade. Okay, that is where it's coming from. So this is basically the explanations of the first 10 idioms. Okay, we'll try to see the next set of idioms. Number 10 coming off with flying colors. Oh, I think I've repeated it. Okay. Number 11, I think, is very easy. Hoping against the hope. Okay, can everyone please let me know how many of the idioms you have heard in this, in the chat box, from 11 to 20? Have you heard any of the idioms in this? The ones that I'm sharing right now, have you heard any of this? Can everyone please let me know in the chat box if you have heard? Just type the numbers. If you have heard of any of this, just type the numbers so that we can skip them, and we can also rush to the synonyms. We also need to cover up some of the synonyms. Okay, Aman is saying that number 13. Number 13 is an axe to grind. Okay, anyone else? Any other idioms? Number 13, number 18. 18 is rain, cats, and dogs. Okay, I think that's also a common usage. Anything else? You can put it in one single message, Aman. 14. 14 is to get rid of. Okay, that's very easy, I think. Okay, you're not going to obviously get such kind of questions, but the point is you will have guessable ones to move heaven and earth. Okay, that's also great. So number 11 is actually very easy. So if you haven't heard, hoping against the hope is something that you do not have any hope, but still you are hoping, like, let's say, for example, you had a breakup and there is no way that you guys are going to get back, but still you hope against the hope that there is a tiny, small possibility that somewhere down the lane, the other person might come back. So that's basically hoping against the hope. I think that's the easiest way in which I can tell that. Hit the nail on the head. Okay, hit the nail on the head. So what do I mean by hit the nail on the head? So specifically, you are telling something, or specifically you want to say something, and that's being told. That is what is meant by hit the nail on the head. An axe to grind, a personal interest, something that you are passionate about, something that you have a lot of interest in. Let's say, for example, you are into movies, so an axe to grind on that. Okay, to get rid of, I think 14 is very easy. At daggers drawn, so it's basically a hostile environment, a hostile environment, a bit hostile environment that is pertaining. Number 16 is a bit difficult. Number 16, number 17 and all is a bit difficult. Number 16 is to play ducks and drakes. Okay. To play ducks and drakes basically means you are acting like you're being a fool, or you're just being inconsistent. Okay. So it's completely unexpected things that you're doing over a period of time. So you're just being inconsistent there. To take the bulls by the horns, that is a very famous quote. Just a minute. Okay. To take the bull by the horns is to actually face the tough problem in the most boldest form. You're facing the problem head on. Okay, whatever problems you're having, let's say you have an argument with any of your friends, so some of them do not want to confront, or some of them do not want to face these problems on their face, but there will be another set of people who would go straight away on the face and start talking. So that is wherein you are taking the bull by the horn. So you might have seen those games, you might have seen the bullfights and all, right? You might have seen that happen. I think that happens a lot in Tamil Nadu. That happens also a lot in, I think, US and all, right? It's a big game. So you try to control the bull and all. So to do that, it's very difficult. To even control a bull, it's generally difficult. Now, when you're trying to control the bull by, to control the bull by the horn, obviously it's going to be much tougher, right? So to take the bull by the horns to tackle the problem, bold. 18, I think, is very famous. Rain cats and dogs basically means raining heavily. So it's raining cats and dogs is what people say when it's raining heavily. To move heaven and earth basically means that to make huge effort, because you're obviously not going to be able to move heaven and earth, even if whether there is heaven or not is another discussion, but you won't be able to move it, right? So to make supreme effort, to make huge, massive effort to do something quantifiable, something huge is what it is. No avail means basically you have put a lot of effort, but it's completely pointless. There is no point in the effort that you have put. Okay, so these are the first 20 sets that we will be dealing with. We'll just try to revise. I'll just ask a couple of them from the first 10 that we have heard. We talked about rank and file. Any idea what rank and file meant? Anyone recollect? I'll ask one more. I'll start with rank and file. Yeah, anyone can recollect what is meant by rank and file? That was one of the toughest that we had seen in the previous one. Let's just try revising. I'll share the PPTs in the WhatsApp group. Yes, ordinary people. So what is the keyword in that? How do we remember that? That is ordinary people. It has a lot to do with military rank formations, file formations, officers as a different formation. That is from where it's actually coming. Okay, a wee bit. Remember V is very small. So during the early hours, a very little, small, tiny. That's where it comes from. Okay, I think all the other words were. I think all the other idioms were a bit more easier. So the next slide has a very short explanation of all these idioms. We'll go to number 21. Okay, tell me if you have heard of any of this. Tell me if you have heard of any of these from 21 to 30. I'm expecting, I think one of them was asked in the previous curiosity quiz. And couple of them are easier, I think. Couple of them are easier. Have you heard of any of this from 21 to 30? You can just type in the numbers if you have heard. If you haven't heard also, it's okay, cool. Okay, I'll tell some of the easiest ones. Like, for example, you're expected to know number 29. 29 is very easy. Okay. 22 is also relatively easy. 24. Okay. Oh, Rim says Rim knows 24. That's great. Okay. 22 and 29 are relatively much easier. Okay. Okay, Grace has a lot to say. 22, 23, 29, 30. Be in tight corner. Okay, that's also great. Okay. Now, to start off with, bark up on the wrong tree. So basically, you are accusing the wrong person. Okay. What's meant by barking? You are just shouting at the other person. That's the symbolic meaning of that. So barking up the wrong tree means you're basically going to the wrong person. You are accusing someone else of having done something and you're just blaming them pointlessly. Okay. The other is keep one at bay. So the ships or the cruises are parked at the bay, right? So what does that mean? So basically, you are keeping someone at a distance. There will be certain friends or there will be certain people whom you will meet in your life if you haven't till now, whom you would like to maintain a certain distance. You might not probably delete them off in your life, but you would still have them in your life, but you will sort of keep them a bit at a bit distance. So that's what's meant by keep one at bay. It is guessable. It's a bit easier. Make a clean breast of it was something that was asked in the curiosity. So basically, it means that you are confessing. Okay, when you have done something wrong, you are confessing it. Okay. Number 24, have a card up one's sleeve. So sleeve, I remember when I used to write, we used to prepare for our university examinations in our college. We used to have this one friend who used to, have notes up on the sleeve. So on the sleeve, he would keep the notes, the tiny micro notes that students prepare for the examination so that he can take it from there. Never do that. It's never advisable. There was a point wherein he got caught by the invigilating inspection body or something like that from the university. Okay. So basically, you do not show what is there, right? You do not show the cards that you have on your sleeve, right? So basically, it means that have a secret plan in reserve, your plan B or your plan C or whatever you want to call it. Okay. 25 is a bit difficult, like a cat on hot bricks. But very interestingly, it's the simple direct conversion. It's not something that we use on a daily basis in India and all. But like a cat on hot bricks basically means when you put a cat on a hot brick or when you put a cat on, if you have the habit of watching Instagram videos, Instagram reels of cats, you can see that when they keep their legs or when their body touches on something that's extremely hot, they have this weird reaction, just like how other people also react. So, like a cat on hot bricks, obviously very nervous. Okay. Cat and dog life, they have always been not so friendly with each other. They're not the best of the friends, so they obviously have a lot of fight, a lot of quarrels, and that's why this basically means it's a life full of quarrels. So basically, a couple who is having a life equivalent to the cat and dog life basically means that you're having a life full of quarrels. Okay, cock and bull story basically means it's a completely fake story or it's a made up story. That is also one of the common usages. It's a complete cock and bull story. These usages you can find a lot if you see some of the political analysis. You see a lot of political analysis and all of what's happening in news. You get to see not the news analysis of what is happening. So you get to see such sort of usages. The print, the scroll, and all are some of the YouTube channels which you might want to follow if you're interested in such things. Okay, cry for the moon. It's easy to figure out because it doesn't have a metaphor. Okay, what's meant by metaphor? Something that's symbolic. So it's straight away to the point. Cry for the moon. You obviously cannot get the moon that easily. So you're asking for something that's nearly impossible. Okay. Then the pros and cons is very easy. I think you might have even used in your 10th standard, 11th standard, 12th standard English board exams also. If you are even questions will have that. Please briefly write some of the pros and cons of using this particular method and all. Not just in English, in other subjects also. Number 30 is also very difficult. Be in a tight corner in a very difficult situation. Okay. So that was basically the 30 sets that we had to discuss. We'll now slowly move to synonyms. Once we move to synonyms, then we'll come back to some more idioms. So do you want me to continue with idioms? It's your choice. Should we continue with synonyms or do you want idioms? I have a mobile with me which shows YouTube comments. It's very difficult to read at my age. It shows very small comments. So guys, if you can please comment. Okay, there's a question that I had got. Hi, sir. This is for joining next year regular batch in ThiNC. Which ThiNC branch is better, ThiNC Calicut or ThiNC Kochi for a hostler? Okay. So basically, in all our branches, be it Trivandrum, Thrissur, Calicut, Kottakkal, or Ernakulam, all the branches have the same set of faculties. and the same set of modules. So we have a module revision we have a curriculum revision in every March, April time. The entire academics team looks into what has happened in the last 1 year, and they revamp this curriculum with the help of Niftians and IDNs and IITians, and they revamp it. They set up a module, and the next full year will be run based on that. So it's the same. It's completely up to you. Which is nearest to your house. I think that will be probably the best logical decision that you can take. Okay. Now moving on, we're talking about synonyms. Now synonyms does not mean the exact meaning. Okay, synonyms does not mean the exact meaning. It's a misconception that a lot of you have. Synonyms basically means the closest. Synonyms basically means the nearest. Okay. Now they will give you very close meanings, but not the exact ones. But in that, couple of them, the two options that you get will be a bit closer. Okay. So the most of the words origin is Latin or Greek from synonymum. Does anyone have the habit of watching spell bee competitions? Anyone has the habit of watching spell bee competitions? What is meant by etymology? Has anyone heard of what is etymology? Any idea what is meant by etymology? If you have the habit of watching spell bee champions, most of the years I think spell bee champions are from India or Indian born American students. If you don't watch, if you're interested in English and if you want to watch, it's quite an interesting session wherein they give you a word. You will have to imagine and figure out the spelling. And to get the spelling, you need to know the etymology. What is meant by etymology? Yes, Gracie has said that it's basically the origin of the word, the history of the word. There are certain words, like for example, thug is a word that's being used in the last 5 years very often, right? But very interestingly, it has a history that goes back to Shakespeare and a lot of usage in UK. Okay, so the same way, every word has its own history. Okay, and if you go in Google, if you have searched in Google, even in Thesaurus, I think you can find in Thesaurus, but not in Cambridge, but in Thesaurus website, if you go, you can find the usage. You can find a graph which shows whether the usage has increased or decreased over the years. Just giving you some additional details so that the session doesn't get boring. I hope it's not. Okay, now when we are talking about synonyms, okay, let's say for example, I'm taking a very small example. I'll convey the idea of synonyms and then I'll move on. Okay, because if you don't know what's the meaning of the question, it's pointless to attempt answering it. So big, let's talk about synonyms of big. Large, enormous, great, vast. There are lots of words that are very similar. Okay, you can say a large house, you can say a large animal, right? But you will never say a enormous house. It's a wrong usage. Okay, so certain words you only use for, so along with certain words you need to know that. For example, you don't say a great animal, you say a great person. Okay, you might be using it in our day-to-day life, we might be using it, but that does not mean that it's correct. Technically, based on English, it's actually wrong. We do follow the UK English system, so technically it is wrong. A great animal is wrong, a great person is correct. A vast is something that we mostly associate with respect to area, in terms of area. Okay, so all these things, if they are there in the options, large, enormous, great, vast, and all, if any one of them is there, then big has a synonym of that. Okay, what's meant by antonym? The straight opposite of that. It's kind of opposite. It's kind of opposite of the word that's already given. Okay, if anyone is interested, you can read the etymology. I'm not going to take much time. Again, so big is a word that I have taken. Antonym. Okay, there is a mistake in that. Small animal is again the antonym of that. A small animal, a small house, a little girl, a little dog. A little house is not a correct usage. Again, little house is not a correct usage. You don't use that. Diminutive, very small, minute, in terms of photos or in terms of pictures. We talk about that. Lilliputian, have you heard the word Lilliputian? Lilliputian is a word that's famous in one of the novels. Can you tell me the name of that? It starts with G. It's a two-lettered word. The first one starts with G. The second one starts with T. So that's from where the word had its origin. It can, you can talk about, yes, very good. It is Gulliver's Travels. It's one of the most loved stories. There has been a lot of remakes also into movies. Okay. Mini is also an antonym of that. Mini skirt, mini McDeal. Microscopic, again, you don't say microscopic man. That is wrong. That's a wrong usage. You say microscopic bacteria, right? So have an idea about that. What is antonym? What is synonym and all? Okay. So let's slowly start. Let's slowly start with the kind of words that we are having. Okay. I'll just share one question which was previously asked in Nift so that you get an idea. Can you guys try answering this particular question? Give the antonym of innocuous. You have given 4 options. Let's assume the options to be ABCD. I'm really sorry that I haven't given the options of ABCD. The first one being A and the last one Pius being D. Just give it a shot in your chat box. Which one could be the right answer? Okay, Gracie is saying it is option C. It is harmful. Okay, any other options? Any other options that you guys have? Okay, I'm sure there would be a lot of students who do not know probably the meaning of innocuous, right? So innocuous basically means it is something that is harmless, or it's something that is not producing any injury. Okay. If you don't know the meaning of that, one trick that you can use is to find out the root of that particular word. Okay, so in is the root of that particular word. Okay, Aman says Aman hasn't heard of that word. Another word that starts with in is actually innocent. Innocent is something that is again not harmful. Okay, so there could be a possibility that innocent and innocuous probably form in the same group, in the same basket. I'm not saying that it means the same. Okay, maybe you don't know, so that's why it may be. Okay, so assuming that if innocent and innocuous are from the same basket, then it could mean that it has to be something that is almost opposite to innocuous, almost opposite to innocent. And of all the 4 words that you have, something that's almost opposite to innocent is actually harmful. And that is one of the ways in which you can predict, you can arrive at the answer, you can conclude to arrive at the answer if you don't know that. Okay. Having said that, again, you need to know, you need to have certain amount of confidence to try for something like this. If you're not confident about it, I would definitely not suggest you to go for this kind of strategy. Okay, but this is a worst case scenario that I'm saying. Okay, if you're aware of it, like for example Gracie had told that it's harmful, then obviously yes, it's okay. Harmful is the right answer. Okay, now we'll start taking some of the questions. Let me just open the PPT just a minute. Okay, so the strategies that you could use, one of the strategies that you could use is to find the root. Okay, mal is another example. Okay, maleficent or malicious. Mal has a negative connotation. Mal has a negative sort of meaning. So a lot of words that starts with mal, not all the words. Okay, again, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. A lot of words. This is a strategy that I'm saying. On a worst case scenario, how do we perform? Like this is the 11th hour wherein we are preparing for Nift, right? What do you mean by 11th hour? Any idea what's meant by 11th hour? So in such scenarios, when you're preparing in the last moments and all, these are the strategies that you will have to adopt. So mal is basically having a negative connotation. Okay, and in scenarios like that, you could predict malicious. Malicious means wicked. Malignant means harmful. Malice means hatred. Malfunction means something that is not functioning properly. Aman Agrawal says yes. Last minute, yeah. 11th hour basically means the last hour. Correct. Malnourished actually means somebody who is not nourished. Maleficent means harmful intent. So it all has a negative connotation. So if you are sure, if you can find certain words, if you can recollect, if you can remember certain words which has negative meanings, then there is a good chance that you might be able to predict where that particular word that's given is going into. Okay, so these are some of the tips that you can use for synonyms. For synonyms, it's almost the same meaning. For antonyms, it's the opposite meaning, the same logic in almost the opposite ways how you have to apply for it. Okay. Another thing that you can do is that you should be cautious about is that there are certain words wherein you have couple of meanings. Okay, that means primary meaning will be there, secondary meaning will be there. Before we move into that, another example with B is a root word which has sort of a positive meaning. Okay, now benignant basically means something that is beneficial. Okay, benevolent is something that means kind or charitable. Benevolent actually stands in between democracy and autocracy. Okay, so what is democracy? Democracy basically in simple terms is the rule of people, right? So that is one extreme. If I say that that is one extreme, the other extreme is autocracy, wherein there is one particular person who is ruling with his or her absolute conviction. He or she is not concerned about what people are wondering about. So that is autocracy. The other one is democracy. In between that lies benevolence, or benevolent dictatorship is one of the strategies that some of the countries had used earlier. Singapore is one of the examples. You can just Google it and see who made Singapore the current Singapore it is. Okay, now coming to the second strategy, primary and secondary meanings. Flag. Now, flag is a word that you all might have heard of, right? Flag basically means that it's a piece of cloth that's used to identify not just countries. Okay, it's used to identify institutions. What are institutions? Not just the school institutions. Institutions are anything that is governed by a set of law. Okay, so it could be anything like, let's say, for example, you might be having flags in your school houses, right? When I used to study, so I used to study in KV. So we used to have four houses. I forgot the names: Gandhi, Nehru, Tagore, Vivekananda. Yeah, those were the four houses, and we used to have March First, and we used to have flags for that. So any sort of institution, any group that's governed by set of rules is what's called as institution. Again, all these are additional points. You can note it down. So it has an identity. That identity is shown with the help of flag, okay, of a country or of an institution. Now, basically, flag has a different meaning also. Secondary meaning is to lessen the intensity, especially pain. Any sort of medical pain that has come, when the pain is getting flagged, it basically means that in terms of intensity, it's slowly reducing. Okay, so that is something that you have to take care of. There could be the same word that has two different sets of meanings. Okay, board again is another similar word. Board a bus. You're going to board a bus, you're just going to climb onto it. That basically means a plank of wood is also one of the meanings that a board has. Okay, so keep such things also in your mind. There could be words which will have different sets of meanings, totally different. It does not mean that they are opposite, they're not related, totally different meanings. Okay, now let's start with a very simple word. Choose the word which best expresses the meaning of warrior. You can take four options as ABCD. I'm really sorry for not putting the ABCD wala part in it. So which one is the right answer? I think the right answer is quite easy, but I would also like to take some other words in connection with that. So you can just give it a shot in the live chat box as I drink a little bit of water. It's very easy, right? It's actually soldier. So everybody knows that. Who is a pirate? Who is a pirate? Who is a pirate? Who is a pirate? So pirate is something that has been in news very recently. Okay. Sea thugs. Okay. In simple words, it's basically robbers who are there at sea. Okay. So pirates are there in news. I think in the last 1 or 2 months they've been there. Okay. One of the most famous pirate. I've kept the photo of one of the most world famous pirate that you can find in the world. I don't know if you guys know his name. If you don't, please Google it and find out. Use Google Lens. Okay, spy. Another word is spy. Spy basically means spy. Spy as a noun is basically meaning that it's a person who is employed by a government or any other organization to get information, to fetch information, to take information. I think you are familiar with it. Verb, that means the process of spying. Okay, the process of spying. He could spy out. He could spy. He could spy a way out. Basically means spying. That is taking things out. The process of doing it. Okay, so spy could be a person. He is a spy. Spy could also be a verb. Verb basically means any action that you're doing. So he is spying. Okay. Now, the reason why I told all this story is because I want you to. Yes, I mean Jack. Yes, Jack Sparrow. I want you to look at this and tell me what is the meaning of this. Perfidious. The R is actually silent, perfidious. So I'll give one more statement if you want. A perfidious lover. What does that mean? A perfidious lover. What does that mean? Can you predict? You need to start predicting. You need to be able to predict the meanings of that. That's again one of the reasons why people ask you to read the editorials, or people ask you to read the novels of such kind of stories that you're interested in. It's basically to predict. You never look into the dictionary. The first thing that you do is you try to guess the meaning from the context, because that's the only way in which you're going to score very high in synonyms, and not just synonyms, in RC also, in reading comprehension also. Okay, yes, Divyanshi has said that correctly. It's basically somebody who is not trustworthy, somebody who is deceitful. Okay, so a perfidious lover, so somebody who is not trustworthy or somebody who is deceitful is called as perfidious. You need to, it's a long strategy, it's not something that you can adopt in the last 2 days. Okay, you will have to read, and you will have to start guessing the meaning, and then check in the dictionary whether I guessed it correctly. Okay, now I'll give you another statement. Okay, there will be questions wherein you'll be given the statement, the usage will be given. Okay, let's say for example perfidious, I'm using it in a statement and you have to guess it. So that's the exact use case scenario that I was talking about earlier. You need to read novels, you need to, or anything that you're interested in, basically. It should have new words. It cannot be like you're reading the review of a newly launched game or Lego blocks, and you're not finding new words. So it doesn't help you actually. So you need to find some sources. It could be BBC, it could be the Hindu, it could be the Indian Express, it could be any interesting stories, any imagination based superstitious story which you could read, but it should give you new words. You should also predict it. Okay, I'll give you one more statement. Now in this, there is a word that I've used repeatedly. I want you to look at this and figure out what is the meaning. What is the meaning? What is the meaning of this? Tell me what is the meaning of this. Which word I'm talking about? I think you should be able to understand. It is basically hoodwink. Non-perfect is probably the guess that Aman has made. Okay, it has something to do with probably one of the set of people who do this on a daily basis is politicians. Okay, deceive. So politicians basically deceive or trick, or they come with one after the other tricks to actually impress people, right? So it's basically deceiving or tricking. Okay, so now you did I don't know if you guys have heard of that particular word, but if you haven't heard of it and if you have guessed it correctly, then that's well and great. That is basically the whole idea. Okay, that's the whole idea of guessing, coming up with a calculated guess. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Okay, so basically politicians make all this propaganda, right? Not all politicians, probably a lot of politicians, and you don't get to see that in reality. So they are basically hoodwinking you. That is the whole idea. Okay, that is hoodwink, hoodwink, hoodwink. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, choose the word which best expresses the meaning of brief. Okay, finally I've come up with ABCDs here, so you should be able to figure it out. I think there are a couple of answers you might be confused with. If you are not, you can, if you are directly arriving at the answer, then that's great. I am not going to discuss it then. If you are directly arriving at the answer, I'm not going to discuss it. Okay, Gracie has said, Divyanshi has said, Aman has said. That's great. Okay, everyone has said it correctly. I think you've got it correctly. The correct answer is short. Okay, limited basically means with restricted resources. Okay, and small is something that's very insignificant. It is there, but it's very insignificant, or it's not noteworthy. Okay, okay, embezzle. Embezzle. Choose the word which best expresses the meaning of embezzle. Okay, embezzle basically, if you want me to give a clue, I would give something that's related to the job role that you do, or something that's related to the kind of work that you do, or something that you're destined to do. So something that you're actually supposed to do, but you're not probably doing it correctly. Yes, it is misappropriate. Okay, basically steal from a place where you're working. Okay, bank cashier is stealing from his or her own bank and things like that. Okay, what is appropriate? Appropriate basically means something that is yours, something that is apt for you, something that you deserve to get. That is basically appropriate. And remunerate, I think, is something that's again very clear for everyone. You're getting what you are getting paid for what you did. Okay, remuneration basically means what you're getting paid for what you did. Let's say, for example, if Shreya Ghoshal is coming to, let's say, any of the fest in any of the NIDs or Nift, and she gets, her remuneration would be, let's say, 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs for a concert. Okay, that's the whole idea. Okay, I'll give you one more word. Again, it's a word that that you could predict the meaning with. Okay, it's a word that you could predict the meaning. Try if you can figure out what is the meaning of this. Choose the word which best expresses the meaning of the word corpulent. There are two clues that you could get. No, in fact, I think you only need one clue. I think one particular clue in itself should be enough. Let's make it a bit faster. I only have time till 7:15 if I am not wrong. Okay, obese is the answer that's given by Gracie. Can you tell me how you have arrived at? Can you guys think of how you could arrive at that answer? So basically, when you're talking about lean, I think you should be aware of it's very thin, right? Lean is something that's very thin. Gaunt basically means lean because you're being tired. Okay. Emaciated is thin because of you're not taking in food. Emaciated basically means you're thin or you're weak, you're struggling because you haven't taken food. This is a bit difficult. Emaciated and obese are the two options. Emaciated, you may not know that. So in such cases, if you're not aware, it's better to not go for a guesswork. But if you know that, it's okay. There is another word which says emancipated. You might have to check the meaning of that separately also. Okay, emancipated. Please check the meaning of that also. Whenever in English you're getting these kinds of questions, please make sure that the four options that are given, your job is not just to get the answer of that particular question. I'm not talking about the exam hall. Okay, I'm talking about today and tomorrow when you're preparing. Whenever you're getting a question, one of the most important things that you have to do is obviously get the answer. But the other thing that you have to do is that you need to check whether you know the meaning of the other three words. If you don't know the meaning of the other three words, that might come in the exam and you might get messed up again. Okay, so let that not happen. I also used to write down new words every day. I'll write down 10 words and I used to try to recollect it. So for on day one, I'll write 10 words, but this 10 words I should encounter. It is not like I'll go to Google and I'll search, tell me 10 words, tell me 10 new words. No, I don't do like that. I either read the newspaper or I read anything and I figure that out and I write it down. So every day I get 10 words. On day two, I revise the previous 10 words and this day's 10 words. So 20 words I revise. On day three, 30 words. On day seven, I revise all the 70 words. On day eight, I revise only the 10 words. So that way I go on and I reach a point wherein there are certain words that I can never remember. There will be some words like that. You'll never be able to remember such words. Okay. Call it a bad memory that you have been fetched upon with, that you have been given within your DNA. There is nothing that we can do about it. But one thing that I did later on was I made small chits of all these words, which I can never remember. So if I'm doing 70 words in a week, I might have 5 or 6 words that I'm not able to recollect again. Okay. Now, when I do that, I put chits, I'll fold it and put it in a box, and randomly someday I'll just get up and I'll just brush my teeth and I'll come and I'll open two of the words and I'll try to guess the meaning. If I'm not able to do that, I'll again go back. So this way you need to keep testing your brain. Another way in which you can do this is you need to read constantly. When you're reading constantly, you need to ensure that you're seeing those new words. Sorry, last week, if you have seen 70 words, at least 5 to 10 of them should come in your next week's reading. Okay, that is one way in which you can understand that your reading is correct. Okay, so corpulent basically means something that has a lot of flesh in it, something that has a lot of flesh in it. This one of the other ways is corpulent. Corporal punishments that used to be given earlier and all. Okay, so obese is the right answer to arrive at it. Now, can I ask you something? Tell me the plural of furniture. What's the plural for furniture? Can you tell me in the live chat box what exactly is the plural of furniture? We'll do this one small question and then we will again go back to idioms. Okay, then we'll go back again to idioms. Idioms is one of the easiest areas where you can score. Okay, what is the plural of the word furniture? Any idea? Furniture only. Same. Why is it so? Why is it that furniture has the plural as furniture? Or what are some other similar words which has its own the same word as its plural? What are they called, or what's the whole logic behind it? Or can you just give me the keyword? What are they called? Yes. So Gracie is correct. Aman is correct. Divyanshi is correct. All of you are correct. It is furniture. Great. So basically, there is a concept called as, I'm not sure if you have heard of it. There is a concept that's called as countable furniture is a collection of itself. Okay, I understand that. Yeah, okay. furniture is a collection of itself. Another word is information. That is another example. Information is another similar word wherein, you do not have plurals in it. Research, money, knowledge, beauty, love. There are lots of words like this. So there are countable nouns and there are uncountable nouns. There are countable nouns and there are uncountable nouns. Now, countable nouns are the ones that you can count. For example, dog, man, horse, idea, and all. Okay, these are all countable nouns, so they will obviously have plurals. Okay, but there are other nouns which you cannot count. It could be abstract ideas or qualities like love, beauty. It could even be physical objects like liquid, powder, gases, and all. They usually do not have a plural form. Okay, so keep this in mind. There will be certain words like this also, just in case if there is a surprise that they are throwing up, it will be great if you get to know this. Okay, so I've just shared some of them. I'm not saying it's just this. Um, if you currently have to make a list of, let's say, words that are having uncountable nouns, you can please look into this. Okay, now let's come back to some of the idioms that we need to talk about. Okay, let's come back to some of the idioms that we need to talk about. Okay, have you heard any of these? Idioms? 31 to 40. 31 to 40. Number 31 to 40. The same set of rules. Okay, the same set of rules. What we said earlier, if you can just type it in. Yes, I mean, money is uncountable. Yes, uncountable in the sense, in terms of English is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you cannot physically count it. Let's say, for example, gas, you can obviously count it, right? There is a unit of measurement for it. But in terms of English, as a noun, it becomes an uncountable noun. That's the logic that I'm talking about. Not going to physics. Cool. Do I make sense? Okay. Can everyone please tell me if there are any particular? Okay. Thank you, Aman. Thank you. So, I think in this, some of the easiest ones, 32 is easier. At arm's length, to keep someone at a distance is basically it. Another one that is easier is 36. 36, I think even the emoji is there in Instagram, keeping one's fingers crossed. And also, I think that is also very easy. In the nick of time is easy because you can predict it with the meaning. Sitting on the fence is not that easy. Spread like wildfire, the gift of gab. Okay, let's start looking at it. So basically, cross one's T's and dot. Now, how does this come from? When you're writing physically, when you're writing these words, when there is T in it, what do you have to do? You need to put the T and then you need to put the then you need to put the line in that, right? When you're writing the small letter I, you need to put the dot on that. So these are all things that are making my work a little bit more difficult, right? As somebody who is writing, let's say, cursive English and all, it's very difficult, right? So I have to be very precise. I have to be very careful in doing that. Okay. That is why crossing one's T's and dots, okay, or at times, somebody, let's say, for example, your superior is giving you an order and saying that you have to follow what I'm saying to the T's and dots. Basically means that you have to be very precise, careful, and do exactly what I have said. Do not try to do anything different. That's basically the meaning of that. Cross one's T's and dots. Okay. At arm's length, number 32, to keep at a distance, I think it's very easy. Out of question is basically something that's impossible. Out of way is something that is strange. That means basically there is a way in which you have to do certain things, but you will say that he got out of his way to achieve rank 1 in Nift. So that means he did things that are totally different, things that are totally strange, things that are totally different from what others are doing to ensure that he got Nift rank 1 in 2024. Okay. So that's what's meant by out of way strange. Show a clean pair of heels basically means that you're running away from there. Okay. Whenever there is a problem, You've just ran away from there. Keep one's fingers crossed. I think you already know when there's anxiety, you're very much scared and all, you have those fingers crossed. In the nick of time, just at the last moment, in the nick of time basically means you're just managing to be on time, just before the door is closing, or just before the credentials are starting to come up in the movie theater, you're rushing into the movie theater in the nick of time. Sitting on the fence, hesitating between two decisions. Fence basically is differentiating between two different things. Now, there could be a confusion that could come up when you're saying sitting on the fence. Sitting on the fence could also mean that you're not doing anything. Okay, but please don't go by that meaning. Sitting on the fence, imagine it as such, it's demarcating between two different properties. One particular line which differentiating between two different properties, or you are hesitating between two decisions. Spread like wildfire, something that's spreading quickly. Wildfire always spreads quickly. Wildfire, it's in wild. It'll be dry. Usually it happens in the summer season. Once it starts catching fire, it catches fire very quickly. I think 2 or 3 years ago, there was a huge fire in the Amazon forest. There was a huge fire in Australia also, right? Gift of the gap basically means you have a talent for speaking. Okay. So these are mainly some of the set of idioms. We'll also try a few more, and then probably I'll try to wind up my sessions. Let me see if I have any more synonyms that is pending. Okay, there are some more synonyms. Okay, I'll go to that. I'll cover this one and I'll go to the synonyms, and then we'll wind up the sessions. Okay. Now, have you practiced? Has every one of you practiced enough amount of questions in terms of reading comprehension? Like, do you find that to be? Are you confident in that? What's the scenario? Like, are you guys confident in your reading comprehension? How do you feel? If you want me to give any additional tips, I could give. Please let me know in the chat box so that I can cover that up also. Okay, Aman has responded. The others, can everyone please respond? Okay, so basically, I'll give you some of the tips and tricks combined together and form tricks. Okay, tips and tricks that I used to do. See, there will be some passages. In most of the cases, no, they'll take up some very weird passages, either something from economics or something from biotechnology or something from philosophy, something from computer science, something which you have not heard of, or probably another thing that's trending right now is artificial intelligence. So anything related to this, or something from the budget speech, which because the budget is just recently covered, or something from corporate governance, from how things are happening in MNCs and also. The first thing that you need to realize is that it's just another English passage. Okay, whatever be the topic, you might be very familiar with reading sports. You might be very familiar with reading, let's say, anime reviews or gaming related reviews and things like that. But they want you to win that. They want them to win. They want you to lose that mental game. Okay, that's the first game that they're playing against you. Okay, do not bite that. Do not be tensed about the fact that it's a topic that you haven't heard of. I'll tell you one thing: 99% of the cases, it will be a topic which you haven't heard of. Okay, so accept that reality and go into the examination hall with all the confidence that you have. That is the first most important point that you have to do. The second thing is, there are two ways in which you can read a reading comprehension question. The first is to read the reading comprehension, then go to the question. The second is to read the question, then read the reading comprehension. Whichever one works well for you, try that. If the first one, let's say, for example, you read the reading comprehension, then you try to get the answers of the questions is your cup of cake, you can try that. The other way is to first read the questions, which for me, that has been the most useful. I always read the question. So when I'm going to read the reading comprehension passage, then I have it in my mind that what is my task. I'm very clear about what I'm being asked. I'm very, very clear. Let's say, for example, if I read a question, one of the things that they commonly ask is what is the general mood of what the author is trying to convey, right? Or what is a apt heading for this particular topic. So these are things that you need to have a bird's eye view of. You need to have an outsider perspective. You need to think of it from a different perspective. So when you need to think of it, you need to start reading after you read the questions. So that could be one strategy that you could try. Okay. Another thing is, see, you're not going to get all the words that you have studied. Okay, let me be very clear. Vocabulary is not going to be that easy. Okay, you will have new words in that. How do you figure that out? What is the meaning in such cases? See, if it's difficult for you, it's difficult for almost all of them, or almost all the candidates who are writing. So how do you figure that out? The best way to do that is, that's what I told, start predicting the meaning. Start guessing the meaning. What do you do that from? From the context, you need to try doing that. Okay. If you predict the meaning from the context, and if you see that those options are there, and if any one of those option is there, you can go ahead and go mark it. If it's not there, walk out graciously. Okay, do not go for a negative mark there. Okay, because Nift has negative marks, you cannot take that risk. If it was NID, probably you could have tried it because it does not have negative marks. Okay, so these are some of the things. There will be weird topics. So today, tomorrow, and all, you can try reading some of those kind of reading comprehension topics and all. Okay, then you could try reading the questions first and then trying to go for the answers. That's another way in which you could also try guessing the meaning of the word. So this is what I had to fairly talk about in terms of reading comprehension. Okay, it's one of the, for me, that was the most strongest area for me. My two most favorite areas was reading comprehension and idioms and phrases. These were the two areas wherein I used to score the maximum. Okay, so keep that in mind. And in case of spelling corrections and all, I would always suggest you to there might be 5 questions in spelling corrections, 3 to 5 questions, right? So you can just mark it and then you can put it for review. Then you can come back and visit again, because spelling correction questions might go wrong because there is a double I or there is a double L and you might not see it. You might overlook it. It's always better to get it cross-checked. I think that's it. And another thing that happened last year, which I learned from the last year, even though I did not write, but a lot of our students had written and come back and told us that, was that the GAT paper took a lot of time than how much it was expected, because the reading comprehension passages were long. They were huge. So always have a check of time. There will be something unexpected that will be happening. Either the passage would be difficult or the passage would be long, would mess it up some way or the other, or they might put in some arithmetic questions which have a lot of steps that you need to put in so that you can mm, you have to arrive at the answer. You unexpectedly, a lot of tricks, tips and all might not work out. So in that case, you need to have an idea about the time. Don't just get carried away. Don't take questions to your ego and all that. I know this particular topic. If I'm not going to answer this particular question, then I'm not going to get out without answering the question. Don't think such way. Okay, coming back from 41 to 50. Okay, from 41 to 50, 41 by hook or by crook basically means that by any means. Okay, another usage is beg, borrow, steal. Basically means that you have to get a thing done. Let's say, for example, if a superior says that you need to get this thing done by the end of today, beg, borrow, steal basically means do whatever you want, not literally going and begging, borrowing and stealing, but do whatever you want. By hook or crook basically means by you use fair, unfair, any means, but get that particular thing done. Okay, feather one's own nest basically means you are trying to build up your own nest, your own fortunes in an unfair manner. Okay, throw out of gear, totally go haywire, totally go out of control, get disturbed at work. Okay, take to one's heels. I think we had discussed about one of the other terms uh, with heels. Remember that also. This basically means run away. Tooth and nail. I opposed him with full tooth and nail, with all the tooth and nail that I had. Basically means with all the power or all the ability that I had, I have opposed. Die in harness. Die while in service. While you are in working, while you're functioning. Um, take a leaf out of one's book. That means let's say, for example, I'm taking a leaf out of his book or her book. Basically means that his or her idea or strategy I'm trying to imitate it. Okay, leave no stone unturned. I think that's a bit more easier. It basically means you've tried all the methodologies, all the options, all the facilities that are available. There isn't nothing that you haven't tried. Okay, he left no stone unturned in his or her Nift 2024 preparation. Okay, a man of straw basically means man of no substance. Read between the lines, I think, is easier to understand the hidden meanings. Okay, so there are a few more idioms in this. I'll share the PPT. I'll share the PPT I'll share a PDF copy of this in the WhatsApp community, B.Des 2024, so that you can get an idea. I think the link has already been shared in the live chat box. Okay. Now this is again another easy question. The best way to figure this out is, if you haven't heard of that particular word went, is to figure out the root word in it. One of the easiest root words that you can figure out, which you might have used, which you might have heard in terms of vent, which is related to vent, is ventilation. Ventilation in the toilets, ventilation in your rooms, ventilators in your rooms. Even in hospitals, you might have heard of ventilators. Okay, so that's basically a support system. This vent basically means that you are leaving out, you are releasing a lot of tension that you have. So these are the words wherein you need to try figuring out the root of the word. It might be helpful. Okay, in words wherein you, yes, Aman, you are correct. A is the right answer. Opening is the right answer. Okay, when I say you need to find out the root of the word, it is a plan B. Okay, I'm not saying this is the first thing that you should think. If you know the actual meaning of the word, no, there is no need to go to this all these strategies and all. If you know the meaning of the word, and if you're very clear about out of the 4 options which one is correct, do not think of anything else. Just go and hit the bullseye. Click on the correct answer that you're sure about. If you do not know it, that is where you need to go for this root of the word. You need to figure out the etymology, or you need to figure out, let's say, what are the different primary and secondary meanings that that particular word will have. Okay, so basically that is it. Now again, starch is a word that has 2 meanings. One is heavy carbo foods are basically called starch. Okay, let's say like huge amount of tapioca or huge amount of rice, all these are called as starch. The secondary meaning is dull, dull material, dull work. Basically, if you have done sort of dull work. Okay, past tense of go is went, but the spelling is different, went. I think that most of you are already aware about. Okay, choose the word which best expresses the meaning of. I'll just finish 2 more words and then I'll end. Choose the word which best expresses the meaning of. So I am very privileged. I'm very happy about the fact that I've got an August house to actually take a class on. I've got, I am addressing an August set of audience. Okay. So it basically means, no, it's not, no, it's not petty. It is actually dignified. Okay. It is actually dignified. So let's say, for example, you have annual function in your school, and any of your any of the famous officers or prestigious officers or gazetted officers, let's say, for example, the district collector or the district magistrate comes, and they might be addressing it as if like they are very happy about addressing the fact that this is an august audience that they have got to address. So that basically means dignified. Okay, so these kind of minor, so you might have got confused between dignified and petty. In that case, petty is something that is of little value, minor value. Okay, choose the word which best expresses the meaning of canny. Now, this was, I think, one of the words which is not that easy. I think this will be the last question that we'll be doing. After that, I'll hand over the session. We have Shantanu sir who will be joining. He'll be talking about the drawing session. So if you have any questions and all, you can have that also in your mind. You can keep that handy. Okay, so let me know what is the correct answer for this particular question. Yes, I think most of you have got it. It's actually clever. It's actually clever. Okay. Obstinate actually means you're being very stubborn or you're being very rigid. Okay. Canny basically means short. A canny politician, somebody who is sharp, crooked, in a bit more in a negative sense also. Okay. Now, some more basic points. Basically, when you're talking about handsome, you are talking about generally you're talking about men. Okay. Female or women who are looking good, what do you call them? Any idea? Women who are looking good, what is the word that's generally used? Now we are using it in a very flexible manner, but technically in English, ideally speaking, female or women who are looking good, actually they are called beautiful. Okay, just have this in mind, just in case in reading comprehension and all, they might trick you. Okay, dress, the noun for dress, again, noun for dress is actually the meaning. When dress is used as a noun, it basically means that it's something that's worn by women. Okay, so there are some minor definitions like that. I think I'll wind up here. There are some more other questions in this which I would address, which I would share in the WhatsApp community. I hope you guys have found the session interesting. I hope you could I could add some value to your knowledge that you guys are already having. I'm really sorry if I've missed out on any questions. So to all of you, to everyone who's listening to this, and to everyone who will be watching the recorded sessions of this, all the best. There isn't much time that's left, so prepare well. Do not prepare any new topics. Let's not get tensed about what's going to happen. Let's not get nervous and anxious about what's going to happen on Monday and all. Okay, so I'll try to share this PPT by today itself. And I would take this opportunity to thank everyone who's been so interactive in the live chat box. Thank you, everyone. I'll be handing over the session to our drawing faculty, Shantanu sir. Shantanu sir, am I audible?
Hello. Yes, you're audible.
Yes. Sir, the session is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was a wonderful session. I could hear a few last moments about it. But yeah, so I think I'll share my screen with you guys. So first of all, hello to everyone. Those who have been able to join this YouTube live session. First of all, I welcome you all to THiNC and these live sessions that we do on YouTube. So today we are discussing a very interesting question, and it is more related to core design problems, more related towards your drawing part. So today we would be discussing a question that is we will discuss about the poster design specifically. So the particular question that you are able to see on my screen right now, I hope it is visible to all of you. First of all, so there is a poster design, and we are to be selected one of the options that are out of the given three choices. The very first part, when you look at the question, is I would suggest is read the question very carefully. Sometimes there are trickier part that might follow up to the similar question, and not just the question. Read each of the option that has been provided. Sometimes some options might have some more parts or more expectations from you. So there might be multiple parts to it, like part A and part B. Probably, for example, draw it, render it, make interesting slogan order. So do not make your choices in haste. So read the questions very carefully, always. Okay, so you might be otherwise you might end up losing some unnecessary marks, or probably your answer might be interesting, but probably it would be shortened in that particular area which is expected out of you. Okay, so anyway, let's read the question. So you are supposed to draw a poster on any one of the following options that are provided to you. So these are multiple slogans, or probably sayings. You must have obviously heard this, or even if you haven't, they're not at all difficult to what's the gist, or probably what's the meaning out behind this interesting sentences. So just wanna read them. So strike while the iron is hot. The grass is always greener on the other side, and Rome wasn't built in a day. So I think there is some. Okay. Rome wasn't built in a day. So yeah, probably. So these are the three options, and we are supposed to create a very interesting visual poster. Now, the poster can be of your choice. It can be purely visual. Okay, what all types of posters are there? Okay, first of all, let's discuss about that. So visual, then there is a textual. Okay, so you can add some textual information to it. Fine. Or either it can be pure visual, there is no text. It can be pure textual, or it can be a combination of both. Okay, so you can build an interesting poster with just the options that you are thinking at that particular moment of time. So I'm gonna work on this particular, so that this particular the sentence is quite interesting to me, and probably I might be able to add some or show some values of a particular attitude or particular practices that every human should possess or should acquire. So Rome wasn't built in a day. So probably provoking that hardworking nature, keep your consistency at work without expecting the final results maybe, but just keep yourself at it, and probably the end of it, or probably the results that you get, the fruit that you get at the end is obviously sweeter. So they've given a metaphor. So Rome is a metaphor over here. What is a metaphor? So sometimes, instead of saying things very directly, you give a certain adjective, a certain attribute to it, so that it receives that magnitude, it receives that grandeur. Okay, so Rome is a metaphor over here. So it is to show you, even Rome wasn't built in a day. So probably it needed a lot of time. It needed a lot of hard work to build. It needed a lot of consistency. So don't leave whatever that you have started. So we are trying to, justify this, and probably we can use a lot of multiple metaphors, to show this. So let's first of all start with the question. So we are considering this particular topic, and what we will try to do is, like, we'll try to create a mixture of visual and textual together. Okay, so let's see. So textual information over here, probably that I think that might be just short. So let's quickly look into a poster design of it. Okay, so simultaneously we would be discussing about, what are interesting ways that you can make your poster design part interesting. So first of all, always remember that you are supposed to, whenever it is a poster, always work in a vertical or a portrait composition rather than a landscape. There is a reason behind it. So composing in a portrait becomes easier. You can enlarge your subjects, so that probably they get a good attention. They are seen from a distance, and probably, like, for example, if there are multiple posters hanging next to yours, still if your visual is bigger, interesting, impactful, people would be called upon, and probably, it would bring them closer. And then that is the time when you provide the textual information. Okay, so a nice central composition for a portrait is a must. Okay, the moment you are putting in a landscape, I mean a horizontal composition, so probably there is a restriction over how much you can enlarge in the image. So probably, you will be able to enlarge, but probably you might have to compromise certain part of it. Okay, so the best way is to make a portrait. Even if you make it smaller, then you are visually distributing this. Maybe if you can add some information over here, visual is over here, more information for textual. So now probably it becomes as a 3 different visual bands. So probably vision, when it is traveling through a poster, like when we see things, might like, probably when the way we understand things, the way we perceive things. Okay, and when we look at this, probably we have information 1, 2, and 3, probably a lot to take in within just a walk, a scroll out of it. So poster is a smaller piece of information, a piece of paper which passes and spreads the information very effectively to much a shorter, within a much a shorter span, and like comparatively a smaller crowd. It's not a banner, it's not a hoarding. Okay, so poster is much more responsible. I mean, your visual, as a designer, your visual has to be more impactful. So you have a lot of responsibility. So within that space of frame, you have to put things more interestingly. So, how do we compose of these things? Okay, let's look into that. So usually what you should do is compose it in the grid of the thirds. Okay, so I'll just help you with that quickly. How we pay attention to these details while we are even discussing this during our things, sessions at THiNC. So we usually try to establish a greater logic, so that we are able to deal with a lot of things with much more maturity and much more greater intentions behind it. So yes, so here if you look into it, like, we have equal boxes. So probably I would consume the central space for my major impactful visual, which is to be seen from a distance. And probably if I probably, for example, if I use interesting accentuated colors over here, if you are able to see, yeah, fine. So maybe, it would definitely capture the attention from much longer distance. And probably, like, if it has an interesting suitable title, okay, or probably whatever, and the subtextual information is much smaller, because this is not a visual. You are also supposed to create some curiosities, create some suspense. So probably not everything is revealed from a certain distance. So they have to come closer. Then you have to pass on the information very effectively. So this is how we compose things. And the best part is, like, whatever the negative space that you are getting, it will help human vision, to probably enter in this particular visual from interesting, so how do we perceive things is quite important. Is to, if you are able to understand, like how humans would see these things, right? So, and how they would like it, or how that as an experience they would understand this. So this is quite an important task to understand. Fine. So this is something about the poster composition. Okay, now let's move on and let's draw the subject very quickly so that we are able to understand it. So for example, I'll just quickly first of all draw the composition part. Okay, whatever the frame or the proportions that I wish to have over here. So this is the size of the poster that we would be using. Let's keep it over here. Okay, fine. Now what I'm going to do is, let's first of all make a simple sketch over here so that we are able to understand some interesting facts over here. Fine. So now we know that the visual is have to be designed over here. Now the Rome is a metaphor. Okay. Now what is Rome known for? Let's just try to quickly understand. Even though, like, even if we can write very literally Rome, but yeah, probably few people might not know it. What's the deal with the Rome? Why it is used even so greatly as a metaphor? Okay. So probably what I'll try to do is, like, what I will just quickly find visually what Rome might stand for. So Rome, like if you have seen, like architecturally very great, art-wise amazing sculptures. So probably we can actually take some interesting probably sculptures or something that might represent the Rome as a thought, as a visual, or maybe even the architecture. If you have seen, probably amazing. So probably the rise of good architecture, like we can consider. Okay, some interesting architectural spaces, architectural elements. Even you can take one. Still, we are getting that. So we know these things, or we discuss Rome for this particular set of proportions, and like architecturally so great. So either we can speak about the Rome as just the written Rome, or probably we can take audience much closer to the subject visually. Okay, probably so that they understand it better. Okay, now Rome is not built in a day, so probably that there is a process. Okay, now we understand. So we can also use something that is like consistency and hard work. So this was the first metaphor that was provided. Now maybe second metaphor that I'm going to use might help you understand. Now probably, for example, the other message that this statement or this quote passes on is about the hard work. Okay, consistency without probably the failure of or without thinking about the final goal, that selfless attitude about just being honest to your work, being loyal towards your work, and keep doing it. So probably who does that? What kind of a or where do you see such qualities? Okay, so maybe we can refer to an ant. Okay, maybe a simple ant. So probably who are like very consistently and very interestingly, they keep doing their job. Like if you have ever observed, I mean, just this is a rough sketch. We can obviously we'll look into the much final version of it. But yeah, this is my second metaphor, and which actually helps my, maybe I am thinking so that this actually helps my visual to create some interesting sense about this. Okay, so the Rome, I'll write the sentence once again. The Rome was not, okay, to keep me reminding this constantly what my visual is entirely about. Okay, Rome was not built in a day. Okay, so maybe an interesting quote as itself, right? So we might use it as some interesting visual part of it. Okay, fine. So let's keep this as our initial thought process, and we can move on. And now let's so I think, like, I don't know, maybe if you have seen, Rome is even quite famous for the Colosseum. You must have, I don't know whether you have seen. So basically it was a stadium. Okay. Okay, big stadium, sort of a, which was built for the sports of gladiators. A huge one actually, and probably has very interesting arches, columns, and maybe this is my very basic rough sketch about this, like just to remind ourselves, how we can think about this, either just basic values about it. We can look into the sketch and do it, but that is not a particular task to be to be understood. Okay, at the beginning we are talking about the ideas. Okay, and we can definitely bring in and make the composition more interesting. We are also using a ant. Okay, this is my basic itinerary about my task, about my work. Okay, so that we can maybe. Fine. So we have to create our visual just out of this. Now we have the sense of composition, where to put things, where to draw this, where to mention this. Really sorry. And I'm going to place things in the 1/3 of the composition so that we are able to place it. Okay. Now see, we have these two visuals. Now we have to create a correlationship between them. So I'm going to use this constantly to draw this and understand. Let's just create. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave some equal space around. Maybe let's just block it. Okay. Maybe I'm leaving, usually you see like we are leaving so much of space, maybe at this side and maybe at the bottom too. Okay. So probably I'm gonna draw the Colosseum part. Maybe because that architecture is such interesting concept for that Colosseum, people might like it. Maybe they might be able to see it from, and they might definitely would. This ant would create a curiosity, right? So probably what we can do is, now I want to create a visual flow over here till here. Okay, maybe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a ant, like maybe she is the one who's reading this quote for you. Maybe. Okay. So I'm just building some foreshortening, interesting foreshortening. So, maybe so that we are able to, maybe she's old and wise and to say all this. It just visually you can just pointing a finger at it. Maybe this is my rough sketch here. Okay. So ideas are important and we need skills to execute the ideas, correct? So okay, so this is the sketch. Maybe from this point onwards, we are able to we'll be able to see a lot of ants, maybe who are walking towards this Colosseum. Probably each one is holding a small stone in hand. Maybe they are the actual builders for this. We are just changing some of the things, very interestingly. We just want to. Okay, so this is my rough sketch about this. We're using some interesting perspective. Okay, so yeah, so this is something about it. Let's just quickly make the final version of this so that I'm able to show you how it is done. You can refer the image once and it's an interesting way to borrow the details. Yeah, and it's fine. Sometimes, you don't have to draw all the architectural details. Here's some statues over here. Okay. We're just bringing some of the elements of those details. Okay, so that people are able to visually understand or represent that. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. And maybe this part is like broken. Still we are trying to. Maybe we will draw some interesting with shadows. Visually, I'm gonna make this more appealing. So yeah, probably take some time to do so. Simple cross hatches can deliver the task very interestingly and very quickly as well. Okay, so I'm just so this is what delivers the architecture. Fine. So once we are done with this, let's move on to the character. Let's pay attention to drawing this in certain. Okay, maybe you try to bring whatever that you're doing. Try to add a lot of value, as in not try to make it uh, spend enough time with it, so that that whole idea has been delivered. Applying the very basic knowledge of my reference or observations. And probably has a smaller stone. Okay, so yeah, this is it, and probably we can quickly deliver this particular set of values that are required to draw the ants. Okay, probably this one is quite close, but I'm not at all gonna draw the details. So we're gonna just pay attention to the silhouette of it. Okay. Okay. Maybe slightly far away. So we can use very lighter values as we going away from the foreground. So this is the first level. So yeah, we can actually build this very quickly. The legs of the ants. Okay, as we are moving, they can go grow much smaller. Okay, yeah. So as they move in those interesting rows, okay. So that is visually we are traveling, helping you travel with your vision. Okay, maybe you can also maybe there's a shadow from this side, so probably we can actually bring some interesting elements to this. So this is what the visual is about. Probably we can place it exactly at the center. Okay, maybe from both the sides. And now when we looking at things like now the code part particularly, you can use a very interesting ways to measure the space first of all, how much is and probably what we can do is like we can keep the visual more and more at the center so that it is visually dominating. And even if you don't trace the just a second. Right? So now we can just add and make it more interesting. So we can visually make some interesting guidelines too. Maybe we would like to space it over here. Okay. So this is the grid line that I'm going to use maybe at this section. Okay. We want to build this. Okay. So I'm going to help myself to have the grid so that, we are able to see things better. Okay. And maybe this helps me understand the align better. There's a lot of bigger statement. So maybe, and even if we wish to push it in maybe 2 lines. Okay. So let's do that. But yeah, maintain the alignment, maintain the order in whatever that you are drawing, because there is a beauty that lies in that structure and discipline. Okay. Whatever the ways that you think can work out, take a marker. Okay. Just making it more interesting. And maybe if you wish to change the little bit of style for the, okay, so this sets the one tone, wasn't built, creates the curiosity as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you can build posters more interesting. We can actually try out lot many things. Okay. If you look into it, okay. Probably the textual part is something we can explore more. Okay. Maybe something that is maybe if I write more in particular script, or that takes it more closer to the subject. I'm just thinking a bit randomly over here. Just quickly finish this. Yep. So maybe we can just shift that over here. Let's see. We can change few things. We're just yet exploring, the way we can write it more interestingly. Okay, fine. Maybe this is something that we can totally bring in, and we will, want to even write much smaller. Okay, but still, you see, it would create a lot of impact in this drawing. Even if you mention it with a, yeah. So the ant is explaining how to build, how to make those things more interesting, and probably it's a discipline. Okay, so maybe some flourishes, decoratives to fall it in more center space, more alignment. Okay, maybe we can add some interesting values at this stage over here. Some parts are probably some adding some interesting values to this, so this will help this particular visual to be popped up. Okay, so there are a lot of ways you can make the posters more interesting, and this is basically yes, but it would take some time to maybe develop this. So this is a very basic doodle of it, but yeah, the what is the final direction of the work? So this is it. This is how it it basically works out quite easily if you pay attention to details. Probably I can add some interesting shape and some form to it, maybe just to give it a accentuate this, and probably build some interesting visual form to it. Okay, maybe whatever, even if it is square. For example, I'm just showing you. Okay, you see, maybe we are just interestingly adding some very contrasting or accentuating colors. Like we can go into the maybe the quite the tone of or a tone of an orange instead of like drawing something. Right? We can use lighter values to simple shapes. Even like for example, even if you just add like something like circle to this. Okay, just pay attention. So this is so wherever you wish to add this, look, maybe we can make it a little lighter, whatever that emphasizes. Okay, so maybe this is something that we can actually place this, or maybe this is the new sun of that. Okay, so maybe there is a sun behind this. Okay, very quickly, and we can just make this the visual completely stand out, and probably just to emphasize it on the textual information too, what we can do is like we can fill up some spaces very interestingly, so that now you can see that it is getting accentuated, and the entire visual is seen with much more. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is how you deliver this subject of poster design. Fine. So I hope you enjoyed the session. This is a very rough and very quick sketch, quick iteration, but I hope you understood how we have applied the logic, the sense of composition we have used, sense of adding text to it, sense of adding visuals, thought process, and how poster design is done. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, yep, see you soon in another session. So, wish you the very best, and I will stop here now. Okay, thank you so much for joining, guys.